What's going on, folks? A couple disclaimers before we get into the roast. Number one, all the videos that I'm going to feature in this video today have been submitted on my Instagram by people in the community, people who I know and like. So don't think that I'm just like pulling random things and like roasting people for no reason. Number two, if you have a YouTube channel, if you're one of the people whose channels I'm going to be talking about, or you have your own independently, I don't know anything. I am not an expert. I've been on this platform for less than 2 years. The only reason that I'm even doing this is just because it's a passion of mine. I've been not so secretly obsessed with YouTube optimization and metrics and analytics for the last couple of years, and it's just a joy for me to be able to talk about it a little bit more than I normally do on my regular channel. It wouldn't really, jive with my usual video game hunting audience on the main channel. So here I am on the second channel, and if even just the people who have these channels that I'm talking about end up watching it, then I'll be thrilled, because this is just something I like to do. But test everything that I say against your own experience and take everything I say with a grain of salt. Number three, I'm going to be roasting folks. That's the title of this video. Roasting really just means constructive criticism. It's not about let me tear these people down or be mean-spirited whatsoever. It is let me take a look at these videos and apply my own experience to it, and hopefully people will come away with some things that they can improve. This is all done in the spirit of helping one another, not in the spirit of let's be mean. But I'm also not going to hold back, because that would not be a kind thing for me to do. This is all like, let's improve together. So anyway, done with that. I'm going to share my screen. If you are in the chat, what's up, Dan, in the chat? I'm not going to be super active in the chat just because I want this to be interesting for people who are watching later. So here's my little list of videos that have been submitted to roast. Going to start off with this top one: 3 tips on how to start reselling on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. Now, the first thing actually I want to do is take a look at thumbnails and titles. And before I even get into this, I'm going to say this. There are 3 elements of a successful YouTube video. 3 basic elements in my understanding. 1, the title and thumbnail. 2, your hook, your first 30 seconds of the video. And 3, the actual body, the meat, the narrative of your video. I have to say, I think one of the biggest traps that people fall into, especially newer, earlier YouTubers fall into, and that I have done a lot on my channel as well, excuse me, I'm hiccuping, is giving all of my attention, all of my effort to the body of the video, right? Which is natural. People want to make good videos. That's a good thing. But it's a mistake to neglect your title and thumbnail and the first 30 seconds of your video. I would argue that those 3 elements are just about equal in importance. If I had to put one on the top, it's your title and thumbnail. Not even gonna lie. So the way that I would explain it best is, say you're in a high school class and your teacher says, all right, this year, your grade is going to consist of tests, homework, and projects. They're all gonna be weighted 33%. And Timmy in the back says, all right, folks, I got this. I'm going to put 90% of my time into homework and, 5% of my time into the rest of the stuff. I got this. We're going to be good. You would look at Timmy and say, Timmy, you are going to fail this class because you don't understand what goes into actually succeeding here, even though the teacher just told us. My current understanding, and again, I don't know anything, is I think the vast majority of resale channels put too much effort into the body of their video, and honestly, probably not even enough effort into that. Not nearly enough into thinking about what is going to make a irresistible title and thumbnail, and how am I going to convince people in the first 30 seconds of this thing to watch till the end. So that's my soapbox for that, and that's the paradigm that I'm going to be operating under for the remainder of this video, watching all of these videos. So let's bring this back up. 3 easy tips how to start reselling. So a few things that I notice here first. I actually have watched a video or 2 from this channel, Monarch Alley, I believe, before. Good stuff. I enjoy it. You have a good camera presence, and we'll get into that when we watch a little bit of the video. But What I would say here, the biggest room for improvement, a few things stick out to me. On the good side, I like that you have your face in it, especially if your channel is like a personality-based channel, a like relational channel rather than like strictly idea-based. I think it's important to include your face in the thumbnail so that people very clearly upon instantly clicking understand this is a Monarch Alley. Am I even saying that right? Is that what it is? Yeah, Monarch Alley video. So that I think is good. The red part of this, here's what I like about it. I like that it's really easy to read. That's huge. I see people using fancy fonts all the time and like small fonts. I think that's bad. Two big red flags here. One, you have text in the bottom left of the screen of the thumbnail here, which means that you can see up in this tiny version up here, the timestamp is going to cover over it every single time. That's something that's easy to forget. Never put text in the bottom left. Or am I saying that right? The bottom right. I guess it depends on which way. But if you're looking at it, bottom right of the screen is always going to be covered up by the timestamp. So don't do that. And I also, for myself, have a limit of I don't want there to ever be more than like 4 words on the screen in the thumbnail. You've got plenty of room to communicate ideas, textual ideas in your title. Don't like keep any text ideas in your thumbnail completely simple. I've actually been experimenting a lot with totally textless thumbnails. But if you're going to do it, right, I think 3 easy tips would not be bad at all. Like just eliminate this, maybe make the 3 easy tips bigger. I would put like some sort of an outline or a drop shadow on it. And that would make this thumbnail better. And the thing that I would try to include and maybe restructure about this thumbnail is there's nothing in it that indicates reselling. There's something that indicates Monarch Alley. There's something, well, except for this text down here, but that's not like, there's nothing visually that indicates reselling. So maybe a shot of like, maybe you're holding up inventory or there's like an eBay logo or something like that. I think would enhance this so that people can know at a glance, this is what this video is about. So that's enough about the thumbnail here. Let's talk about the title. 3 tips on how to start reselling on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, Facebook Marketplace. This, personally, shorter titles are better. I think the fewer words you can put in your title, the better on average it's usually going to do. I wouldn't worry personally a ton about search engine optimization and keywords. I think that a clear, concise, compelling idea in a title is more important than jamming as many keywords in there as you can, from my experience. So what I would do with this is I would just say 3 tips on how to start reselling. Done. I think that communicates it a little bit more clearly. And if that's the direction that you want to go, just like direct. I think the optimal thing to do would be to rephrase it in a way that is a little bit more intriguing. I'll give you an example. I actually have a video coming out this week that is a very similar topic, beginner reseller tips, because people ask me that in my DMs a lot, and I wanted to film something that was for them. But the way that I branded it was, don't start reselling before watching this. That's the title. It's like, I think it's in all caps probably. And the thumbnail is me sitting here. I'll switch this. Sitting here looking like this, you know, like kind of concerned. And there's a big yellow sign next to me that says danger ahead. Again, 2 words. I'm not cluttering up the thumbnail. I wonder if maybe I should just pull it up over here. That's a different thumbnail I was working on. Let me see if I can find it here. Open. There you are. Here it is, right? Big old concerned face. Nice photo quality is a big thing here. Yellow, bright colors are really big in thumbnails and really easy to read. This is like, oh, this evokes an emotion. That's a big thing in thumbnails. So I could have said, it's like 6 tips. I could have said my 6 best tips for beginning resellers, and that would have done okay. This is a lot more emotive and a lot more interesting, and I think it kind of matches the tone that I was setting in this video. So anyway, that's enough on the title and thumbnail. Let's actually watch this video.
I'm a vintage lover, thrifter, and part-time reseller, and today my video is about why you should resell and 3 tips to get started.
Oh, whoops.
If you are...
Let's do that again. I wasn't screen sharing.
Hey there, Chelsea here, Monarch Alley. I'm a vintage lover, thrifter, and part-time reseller, and today my video is about why you should resell and 3 tips to get started.
Okay, so I actually like that. I like that whatever the person clicked for, you're delivering them. You're setting it up very quickly in the beginning, and you're saying, hey, this is why you should stay. I like it.
If you are already a reseller, hang in there, because this might remind you of some of the foundational processes of reselling and kind of remind you to get back to where you began. So what is reselling? Essentially, reselling is taking something that you purchased.
This section, this isn't as much in terms of video. This is more like, if I'm in the editing room, I'm going to ask myself at every single point I possibly can, is this essential? I cut stuff out that I have filmed that I thought would be a good part of the video in the editing process all the time. This is a little segment of what is reselling. Like, if somebody clicks on 3 tips of how to start reselling, they probably already know what reselling is. So that's something that I would probably cut just in the name of getting to the meat of the video quicker.
And selling it elsewhere. For me, that means selling it on the internet. I sell on Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. Reselling can take on many forms. Some people don't even sell on the internet. Some people have an antique.
Okay, explanation.
But essentially, what we're doing here is taking items that we have and selling. Well, it's survival money, you know, money to pay the bills, to pay their rent or more in a pinch, to build up their emergency funds, or extra spending deals are really fun to follow because you get a glimpse at what could be and where you could go with reselling. Another great way to use this extra cash is invest.
Okay, so this is all like exposition and explanation that is not like, it's sort of background almost to the actual point of the video, which is tips. This is like, here's kind of what reselling is and what people use it for and all that stuff. I would slash all of that and just get right into the actual tips. Is that maybe what this is? Well, this says reason
really
number 2.
Reason of why reselling is great is that it helps to keep items.
So this seems like it honestly, let's see, if I scroll forward, reason number 3, do you go into wait, what's this? Tips. So I think you're kind of like meshing 2 videos together. You start the video 3 tips on how to start reselling with 3 reasons that reselling is a great thing. I agree, reselling is a great thing, but maybe that's a different video. I could see somebody clicking on this video, getting a minute or 2 in and being like, wait a second, I clicked for reselling tips and it's like 2.5 minutes in. I'm not sure where you're actually starting. I think the text was on pretty briefly. I'm trying to find it. I'm over 2 minutes in and I haven't gotten that yet. You'll notice something on videos of they're done by like top performing people on the platform, like that get millions and millions of views. They're delivering on the promise of the title and thumbnail instantly, oftentimes within the first 5 seconds. So that's something that I've personally been focusing a lot on. And honestly, I'll look back on my videos from even like a month ago and realize, oof, I could have been delivering on what my title and thumbnail promised a lot earlier, and I probably would have seen better retention, because retention is really big in the algorithm. That's like the whole reason that I'm so Darwinian about like deciding what I keep in.
And there's absolutely nothing in your house that you have to sell or that you want to sell, then my next piece of advice would be to reach out to your friends and family. Free inventory is a great way to get started without losing any kind of personal investment. So if you start with free items either from your home or from friends or family, then that gives you an opportunity to learn more about brands, learn more about the listing process, and learn what's more effective. Now, when you're starting with this free inventory...
Okay, here's a really small thing here for editing. There was a little bit of a pause there. It was only probably like half a second. I would take the microseconds in the edit really seriously when you're transitioning between like one sentence and another. one idea and another, or like I'll do this all the time. I'm like filming something, I finish a sentence and I'm like, okay, where the heck do I want to go from there? And I just need to cut out that pause. I would cut out absolutely as much of that pause as possible, down to fractions of a second, because it's easy to underestimate just how much that kind of disrupts the overall flow. Like, you really want the video to feel like it's an ongoing conversation, rather than having those like little, not really awkward, but like slightly noticeable slight pauses in there. For the sake of time, we're at 15 minutes already. So yeah, Monarch Alley, I like what you're doing. I loved your graded game video that you did a while back. That was how I stumbled upon your channel in the first place. And you're doing a lot of things right with this thumbnail, with staying on topic and everything like that. I like the how clear and easy to read this is. I think, like, for a relatively young channel, yeah, 698 subscribers, you're doing a lot of stuff right. So keep up the good work. All right, next up on the list, we've got Full Set Collecting Opinions with Special Guests by my friend Retro Ghetto over here. 2,000 subs. Let's go ahead before we even get into the video and take a look at the thumbnail. So this is interesting. I don't see a lot of thumbnails like this. What I like about it is you've got a lot of like recognizable figures in here, especially this handsome chap right here. What I would do with this thumbnail is take this face and expand it to take up the whole thing, and then you'll get 1 million views. So here, in reality, what I would do is change the background of this rather than the Retro Ghetto. I'm already able to see, when I see this video in the feed, I'm already able to see your channel logo, Retro Ghetto, right next to your channel name. That's already visible to me. You don't need to reinforce that branding, I don't think. What I would reinforce is the idea of the video, Full Set Collecting. So change this from that to a shot of like shelves full of games, and that will communicate your idea a lot more concisely. I would feature, like, I'm a little bit on the fence. I don't really know what I think about having everybody's face in the, like, it's good for face recognition, but at the same time, they're all kind of small, and I don't know how many people would really like lean in and squint and be like, So if you could take like maybe 2 or 3 of the top ones that you think your audience might recognize most, maybe they're in your country or there's like a lot of channel overlap, you can see that in your analytics. I would take maybe 2 or 3 of them and yourself, and then put like full set collect, like put a full set of video games in the background, have that title. Let's actually talk about the title as well. Full Set Collecting Opinions with Special Guests. It's short, it's to the point. I like that. I would maybe consider, like, I like titles that are evocative and kind of like provoke some sort of an emotion or some intrigue. So I might actually phrase this in the form of a question, like something like, is full set collecting even practical or even possible? Or should people even try to collect full sets? Or something like, you can wordsmith it. But I think that question, like posing a question in a title that is answered in a satisfactory way in the video, especially by multiple people, I think could be a really satisfying payoff for viewers that click on this.
Welcome back to the Retro Ghetto, and today, with the help of some very, very special guests, we're going to be discussing full set collecting.
Okay, not a bad little intro hook there. Honestly, I don't know if you really need it. Like, my instinct is, I already know from the title and thumbnail that what we're talking about. So I don't know if you really need to reintroduce it again. Again, this is a mistake I've fallen into. Like, if I had a Phoenix resale video queued up here, I'd be roasting myself for the same thing. So, don't take it to heart or anything. But those are the kind of questions I'm always asking myself in my hooks.
The intro.
Got the classic. So this is something that I actually do want to talk about. The intro segment of this channel and other channels. This one, I want to say it's maybe like, I don't know, 40 seconds or a minute long. I would say in most cases, channel intros are not achieving what the creators want them to. A lot of reselling channels have intros, which here's the idea. It's if people are new, this intro is going to give them a little glimpse into what this channel is about and say, hey, like, this is the kind of stuff I talk about and you should subscribe, without actually saying that. And I appreciate that, but I don't think, again, if we're looking at this in terms of like from a retention perspective of getting people to watch as much of the video as possible, I would wager that if you went into your analytics and you looked at the graphs of your retention over time, you would see a dip where your intro is, because your regular viewers are skipping it. I know when I've watched a few of your videos in the past, I skip it because I've seen it already. I don't need to see it again. Even though the song is super catchy, I love the work that you put into it. I've actually had channel intros on my channel in the past. I had like this like sort of sitcom-y, like montage style intro back like towards the beginning of the channel. And I just realized like all my regular viewers, they don't need to see this every time. And it's only valuable the first time someone stumbles across the channel. And for that reason, it causes retention dips, which is really bad for the algorithm. And I cut it. I've actually since then been slicing and slicing and slicing my videos, my intro segments down to like, that one was like 45 seconds. Then I had one that was like 12 seconds, and down and down and down until the most recent one was only like 4 seconds long. And now I'm at the point where I'm just cutting it most of the time. The only time it'll ever be in is if I desperately need a segue between like a cold open and the body of a video. But I'm leaning more and more towards just get into the meat of the video first scene if I can. So like, I'll give you an example. This is something I've been roasting myself about for the GameCube Gambit. I have these freaking like 2 to 3 minute long sometimes intro scenes here talking about the games on the shelf up there, like, oh, this is where the collection is, this is what happened last video, these are the games that I'm looking for, blah 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 blah. People click to see game hunting. Why am I wasting everybody's time giving all this context that if you're familiar with the series, you already have? And if you're not familiar with the series, I can be giving that context along the way in a more interesting setting than this stupid room right here. That's where my mind goes when it comes to like intro hooks. And I hope that's helpful for you. I don't want to come across like this intro is bad or anything. It's super high effort and I love it. But I think you even had the same intro here in that, right? This video is 21 minutes long. And so you were like, dude,
too much to get through today.
Cut the intro. This isn't what people are clicking for. It seems like you already know that. I would just, if it was me, I would really consider just cutting the intro altogether. And I'm a little bit hesitant to like go too hard on this. But if you do decide to, also know that all of your early videos will still have that intro, and it'll be kind of like a cool relic of your channel if you do decide to cut it. That's what I would do, but let's keep going.
Okay. Viewers of the channel will know I've been going for a full set collection, and it's become apparent to me whilst I've been documenting the journey that it's quite a divisive subject. So what I've done today is I managed to amass a full set of sorts in some of the greatest YouTubers from both sides of the Atlantic to give their thoughts on the topic.
I like that.
I'm going to give my thoughts at the end.
Ooh, the second angle
may surprise you.
I really like that second angle. That's like, it's good for us. Like when you have an intro, I would actually say, where does this start? At like 14 seconds after the...
Viewers of the channel will know I've been going for a full set collection, and it's become apparent to me whilst I've been documenting the journey that it's quite a divisive subject.
I like that as an intro. Like if you started the video there, I'm kind of in, because you're signaling to me, oh, this is kind of controversial, and you might want to stick around to hear some people's like contrasting opinions. And having watched this video before, because I'm an egomaniac and I knew that I was in it, so I watched it. I did enjoy hearing everyone's separate opinions on it. There were a lot of people that were kind of in my camp of like, the satisfaction doesn't really outweigh the trouble. But there were other people that were like, yeah, I think it's a lot of fun and people should do it. And I think I really like the idea for this video, which is huge. That's like in the like body segment, that 30%, like the actual meat of the video. A lot of that consists of, is the idea behind the video one that is interesting and compelling? And I think you've done that well here. I think this is a great video idea. And I think if you had just started it at 14 seconds or whatever that is, I need to go back into this so that I remember. Sorry about that. I got people calling me out for that in the chat. What I would have done is started at 14 seconds, get right into this. This is a good, like, you're setting the scene well. This is a controversial issue. Let's hear from a bunch of people on it. I like that a lot.
So what I've done today is I managed to amass a full set of sorts.
And then I don't like
build an awesome collection. It's an amazing journey to go on, and I'd recommend it.
So the rest of most of the 20 minutes of this video, I don't want to like dwell too long on this for the sake of all the other ones that I'm trying to get to. But it's a whole bunch of different people who like film themselves, who have separate channels that people might know. And then Retro Ghetto, and forgive me, I don't actually know your first name, so I'm just going to refer to you as RG. Then you'll like kind of hop in and give some of your takes and then say, okay, on to the next clip. I think that's a really good format. And I like that you took the initiative here. And we've got all these, you know, we got Mr. Right way up in here. Some of these are like UK people that I don't necessarily recognize. But I like what you're doing here. Yeah, classic. We got Sick Cooper. I think the idea for the video is definitely there, and you executed it well. The only thing that I would say is I noticed on one of these other videos of yours that I watched in the past that I'm going to go back up here, that there was one clip that was way longer than the other ones. Like one person talked for like 4 minutes and the rest of them were more like 30 seconds or a minute. I wouldn't feel bad when you're in the editing room slicing that up. If you're like, okay, this is a little bit too long-winded, I'm only going to keep the juiciest bits. Chop, chop, chop. Don't feel bad about that if you think that it's important for the pacing of the video that some of that gets cut off. That would be my biggest advice there. But yeah, dude, you're doing a lot of things right. Great job. And thanks for featuring me in that video. All right, on to Corbin and Amy, who are they in the chat still? They might still be. They were in the chat at one point. They're enjoying the Indiana life right now. Used to be fellow Lexingtonians, but hey, less local competition. That's a compliment, if anything. Let's go ahead and look at the title and thumbnail of this. They actually messaged me on Instagram when they sent the link. They were like, this video is underperforming and we want to know why. So I'm going to do my best here. Take it all for $10. So this is good. It's not too many words. Although I have to say the text doesn't really make sense with the image that you picked. Like, take it all for $10. Take all of this game for $10. I would have taken a different screenshot to go with, because like this is some good text. I think what it is they didn't have actually footage. It was just audio, maybe, if I'm remembering this video correctly, from the shop that was like a nice stack of games. So what I might have done actually is, and I'll do this a lot, after the video's done, after the fact, maybe take all of those games, kind of like align them on a counter or something like that, and just take a picture of that, take it all for $10 onto that image that you've taken after the fact, and just use that rather than opting for a shot of a single game in a flea market here. Like you could, I don't think the screenshot is all that intriguing. Like it doesn't really grab me. There's nothing about it that is like, oh man, like there's no mystery, there's no shock value. So I would definitely reconsider this screen grab. I'm asking myself a little bit, how I feel about like this effect, the outer glow with that's not really pixelated. I don't know what you would call it, like spray paint almost. And I think it's good for highlighting. I don't know how I feel about, like, in my personal thumbnails, I try not to make the colors like too noisy. But then again, there are other channels that have super like busy and bright thumbnails that do better than mine. So I don't know if I can even really say that. I would say if you're going to have a character, make it bigger. That'd be my biggest thing with that. So that's a few little bits on the thumbnail. I mean, 3,000 views. That is not bad. You're pulling numbers here still. Bad Day turns into Wild Ride, $2 collection. So this is another interesting collection, or interesting question when it comes to YouTube. My strategy with this is in the GameCube Gambit series, I don't put GameCube Gambit in the title. The reasoning behind it is I don't want that to scare off people who aren't unfamiliar with the series. Like maybe I have a banger title of like hit the GameCube jackpot, right? I could put parentheses GameCube Gambit. What I would worry is that somebody who's never seen my channel is going to see that parenthetical notation and think, okay, there's some context here that I don't understand. I don't necessarily want to jump into something that I can't just digest the video on its own. And I try to structure those videos intentionally that people don't need context of the rest of the series. But I do mention that if you want to go and watch the rest of the series, I have a playlist for it. But then again, Retro Rick's $10 game collection, the series that like built his channel in a lot of ways, or at least has been really great for his channel, he put $10 game collection in every title. So I guess you could go either way. My instinct is not to, but that could be wrong. Bad Day turns into Wild Ride, combined with I'll Take It All for $10. So I would say the biggest issue for me with this title and thumbnail is that they're not complementary. You want the way I understand titles and thumbnails is you want them to be like dance partners, right? They're not serving the exact same role. They have different roles and they work together to make something beautiful. These, I think, are kind of stepping on each other's toes, right? I'll Take It All for $10 doesn't really jive with the Single Jimmy Neutron game, doesn't really jive with Bad Day turns into Wild Ride. Like those are, to me, kind of all separate ideas that I'm struggling to connect in my mind. So if I had to guess why maybe this video isn't getting the clicks that the normal ones do, that's what I would say. I would try to get some more unity between those three elements. But let's go ahead and start watching this bad boy.
Beautiful people, my name is Corbin, and this is my beautiful girlfriend,
Amy. Hi.
And yes, we are wearing matching Mortal Kombat shirts.
Yes.
Shout out GameStop. We love y'all. We'll see y'all again soon. Don't worry. So, guys.
I do like that. I like little, anytime you can like inject a little bit of personality into a video that like makes you a little bit unique or distinctive, I think that's a good thing. I like the matching Mortal Kombat shirts.
Episode 2.
Is that what I would lead with? Probably not, because it's not what people clicked for. And I'm telling you, like, I'm super nitpicky. You guys can already tell about what you're spending time on in that first 30 seconds, because that's the most important chunk of your video to be hyper strategic about.
The $2 video game collection
It's today.
is today. So as y'all saw in the first video, Amy had some nice scores. She picked up a Ben 10 Cosmic whatever for $1. And then,
so one big thing here, in your whole first 30 seconds, it's just a shot of you guys standing in front of a fireplace. I would seriously consider maybe throwing in some B-roll from other videos. This would be the perfect opportunity. If you're recapping what's happened in another video, because I know you have it on your computer or somewhere, and if you don't, pay for Google Drive. throw that footage on there so that you can draw from it in a future edit and illustrate visually what you're talking about. Don't play the audio. Well, I mean, you could play audio from it if it's just a highlight reel, but just take the video part of it, play that over your voices saying, yeah, in the last video, we had some really cool finds and we were able to build up $30 for the collection, and we're hoping to go spend that today. And as people are hearing that, they're seeing the things that you found. They're getting the highlight reel of the other one, which is keeping them visually engaged. I would think a lot more about trying to implement some of that in your edits in the future.
Then a sticker sealed Xbox OG GTA trilogy or collection? The collection. So both those games have sold. We sold the Ben 10 on Instagram for $15 free shipping. And then we sold...
Doing some like screenshots there as well of sold listings could be great.
The GTA for $20 locally cash to actually a local viewer.
Yes.
So guys, we're deducting any kind of shipping cost, any kind of fee that we have to eat. We're deducting that off of our through our Instagram Venmo sales, or if we sell stuff on eBay, Mercari, we'll deduct all the shipping, all the fees and taxes or whatever we have to deduct. So we have the actual exact amount balance that we can spend. So we are tracking all this via a spreadsheet.
We have a date bought, what it was, cost of goods, $1.
So I love the specificity of all of this. Like, I love how exacting it is. Again, like, how long does this go on?
Videos in a row of like just us hunting for the video game stuff because it's so fun. And we really want to break this mold and stereotype.
So more explanation of like the series, the channel.
He can hack into it.
Okay. So today we're going to Madison, Indiana.
What we're gonna do. Okay, so there is the title slide. So this is a full over 2.5 minutes of background that you're expecting people to sit through before giving them any payoff for what they actually clicked for, which presumably is probably game hunting, right? That's not really indicated too much in the title, but it is with the thumbnail picture. And all of your returning viewers just know like that's what's on your channel. I would like when you're shooting in the future, think a lot about like, how can I satisfy the viewer as quickly as possible after they click, so that they're like, okay, like there's no reason for them to want to skip through my video, because skip through is really bad for attention, and that signals to YouTube people aren't actually wanting to watch this whole video. They're here for the juiciest bits. And if you want someone to watch a whole video, you should probably serve up some other video in people's suggested feeds that people tend to watch all the way through, if that makes sense. That's really big in the algorithm right now, from my understanding. And even after the title slide,
this is the life of a reseller right here.
We've got even more background. We've got more explanation. This is what I've heard a lot of big YouTubers refer to as exposition. It's explaining.
The really sicky part about all this is that there's no ponds. Like for like a 45-minute radius.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Now, I should qualify everything that I say with the reality that there are YouTubers out there, like relationship-based YouTubers, who, like, the reason people watch their videos is not for the idea of the video. It's because they feel like they have a parasocial relationship with that creator. Those creators, the Emma Chamberlains of the world, can get away with sitting in their car and talking about how to slice cucumbers or how their last salad was kind of moldy for 5 minutes, and people will still love it because they love the creator and they've been following them for freaking 6 years and they've seen them grow and what blah, blah, blah. And there's a place for some of that. I think Harry Tornado strikes a really good balance. Like, people watch a Harry Tornado video not necessarily because he gets the best finds or because he has the most experience in the industry, or because like every video is like some crazy new idea. They watch his videos because one, he's really good at branding them, and also because like he and Haley are so relatable. Like they're just the kind of people that you want to go hang out with. And I don't say that at all to detract from anything that he's done. I'm saying he's a genius for setting it up that way, because not only is it that, but also his content is good and his editing is good. And he does a good job delivering on whatever people clicked for early on. And then later in the video, usually he'll get into, okay, I have my big old bag, IKEA bag of stuff that I got at the flea market, and I was negotiating and, shooting the spit with various vendors and, having a good time. And now he was just telling me the other day, my water heater is broken, so I've got to go deal with that. And, isn't that a pain when your water heater breaks and all that stuff? I'm going on a Harry Tornado rant just to illustrate how good he is, much better than me at I'm choking. At balancing the idea and the payoff of the video with also I'm a person and you can like relate to me and all that stuff. So that's all that to say, it's probably not all the most helpful, but it's something that's in my mind as I'm watching and thinking about structuring my own YouTube videos. Like what's the optimal way exactly to do that? I haven't figured it out. I think it's a really hard question, but a way that I wouldn't do it is including 4 solid minutes of it before anything that someone might have clicked on who's new to the channel. Because someone who's new to the channel, they don't have that relationship with you. I think your regular viewers definitely do, because you guys are good about that. But if I'm a new viewer and I'm not getting what I clicked for until 4 minutes, I'm gone. Like I've got a whole feed of suggested videos right next to this video, like this, or more accurately, where is it? These bad boys all the time. And guess what? 65,000 views, 80,000 views. Hey, there's Chase. 760,000 views, 72,000 views. I'm getting a ton of suggestions by YouTube of videos that are already doing really well by creators who really know what the heck they're doing. So in order to retain that person's attention who you have gotten to click on your video, who may or may not know about your channel, you have to be super thoughtful about getting them satisfied early on, right? Mini payoffs. I think the biggest reason the GameCube Gambit does well is that the way it's structured is that the whole video is miniature payoffs, right? For clicking, it's I found this calculator and I found this Xbox game and I found this stack of loose discs and I'm going to flip it for this much, this much, this much. Our budget is building. And then the major payoff at the end of the video of now we get to buy these GameCube games. I think like thinking about the satisfaction that people are going to get from clicking on your video is just really big. I've spent a lot of time on this already ranting.
Did you have any video games by chance?
Think about this. You start your video at 4 minutes.
Good. How are you? Did you
At 4 minutes and 2 seconds.
have any video games by chance?
Suddenly, as a viewer, I'm intrigued. I clicked for video game hunting. The very first scene, do you have any video games by chance? Oh, okay. Like we're getting into it. No way I'm clicking off. I need to hear, at least you need to hear the answer to the question. Even if I do have Arlo, the freaking million subscriber Arlo in my suggestions, I at least need to hear if they have video games, right? So hopefully you guys kind of understand what I'm saying here.
Oh.
Yeah, and they do have some video games. That's a fantastic payoff, potentially super early in the video. I like down here, even though you can't really see it because the stuff is blocking it, which may be an indication that maybe you should move that little text box up to the corner, like maybe up here. I really like that running total. I would definitely keep that because that really helps anchor viewers in the context of the whole challenge, right? Like our money's going up, it's going down, and having a visual representation of that is really good. That's all I'll say on this one. I think I've ranted on this video enough, but hopefully that gives you something helpful to go on. Let's switch back to large mode. and go to our next video, which is the good old flipping accountant, Justin, down in Alabama, I think. So first off, thumbnail. You reselling them? Justin did a poll in his Instagram stories that I voted on that was this thumbnail versus another one. The other thumbnail was like a bunch of female Walmart employees that were like laughing or something like that. And the alternate title that could have been besides this one was like best Walmart workers ever or something like that. It was better than that. I can't remember exactly what it was. I voted for this one. 60% of people voted for the other one, and they're dead wrong. I'll tell you why. I really like thumbnails that trigger people before they click, right? This one does that. This hints at conflict, right? At tension. That stuff is interesting. Those human interactions is part of what I love and what even people who aren't in reselling love about these kinds of videos. If you can hint at that with this tiny segment of dialogue, and maybe it is conflict, maybe it's not. Maybe this person said, oh, are you reselling those? I love resellers. I want to be just like you when I grow up. You want to get some ice cream? I don't know. But that's the point. I don't know, right? It's just a hint. I like that this text is large and easy to read. And I like that it's just it's a hint. It gives you just a taste of the juiciest bit of the video rather than like over explaining, right? And you've got this shot even of the all the games that you're buying, and someone's like, you reselling them? Like, guess what? I don't think you're going to play 4 copies of Iron Man on the PS4, Justin, are you? Are you reselling them? I like this thumbnail. That's why I voted for it. And but let's see, Caleb, you can't just be complimentary. What would you do different? I would definitely look into this is pretty low quality. Thumbnails that are higher quality tend to do better. I think you get away with more if you're just doing like a screenshot, like an obvious screenshot from a video, because there's a little bit of that like homemade element to it. Nonetheless, what I would do in this, and whether you're using Canva or I highly recommend Photoshop, you can amp up, and maybe you did this and I just can't tell. I would amp up the vibrance, the saturation on this, and the sharpness just to make it pop a little bit more. Make those colors pop, because color in thumbnails is huge. So I think that would get this to the next level. Also, I really like, as I said before, outlines or drop shadows on text, even if you do have this green or dark colored background. One of the reasons I didn't like Canva is they don't have all that many options for it, but there is an effect that you can put on this that is shadow, and you can go and reduce, or maybe it's increase. I think you put the opacity up to 100% and it looks like a solid shadow, and then you can adjust like how far away from the actual word it is. It'll make the word pop more essentially. So I would add that effect on this word. I would make the colors of this pop more, but I would guess that this video is probably performing decent for you, Justin. Are you in the chat right now? Let me know what rank this video is for you out of 10. Let's talk about the title. Awesome employees help me find all the hidden clearance video games. Actually, I don't like that title. Again, there's a dissonance there, right? This hints at conflict. This hints at kumbaya, right? I would make this, even if it didn't end up being a conflict thing, I would make it something like, well, let's actually get into this video, and then maybe I can give you a suggestion, but I think you know where I'm going.
What's going on, everybody?
Okay, so I like that you just bang opened up with exactly what somebody clicked for. What I would actually have done here is right, like that clip to this one, are you reselling them or something? I found a few video games. It seems non-chronological. It's like I would do one of two things. Either put this, the first clip, and then have you selling them or something, done, cut to the actual chronological start of the video. I'm guessing you in the parking lot explaining what you're about to do. I don't think you need that last one. Or I would cut this out entirely and just have you reselling them or something, and then have maybe like a dramatic sound, like a boom, like a deep drum, cut to black, and then just like fade up
What's going on,
into
everybody?
this, right? You reselling them or something? Boom. Hint at that conflict, get to the beginning of the video, suddenly I'm in, right?
This is Justin, otherwise known as the Flipping Accountant, and we are at our second Walmart of the night. We're going to try to pick up some more clearance video games, clearance toys, whatever we can buy to resell online.
Ooh, try this. Let's see. 2 out of 10, 8.7% CTR. I'm intrigued now. Obviously, this video is doing well, so you don't have to do anything to mess it up. I'd be curious to know if all you changed on this video was the title to "Caught Reselling at Walmart." 5 words. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Whenever possible, I like to stay under 8 with my titles. 5 is great. Caught reselling at Walmart. I don't know. Is anybody else, there are 11 people in the chat right now. Is anybody else kind of feeling in their gut that, ooh, that title is a little bit spicier. That might just get the clicks. Maybe it could bump it up to number 1. Maybe you change it and it goes down to number 16. I don't know. Like I said in the beginning of this, take everything I say with a grain of salt, but that's what my gut instinct says.
So the music's really loud, so we're just going to jump in and talk to you a little bit. Wish me luck. Let's check.
So I like the little like quirky wink there. That was fun. Like that's the kind of thing that will make people feel connected to you.
Walmart of the night. We're going to try to pick up some more clearance video games, clearance toys, whatever we can buy to resell online. So the music's really loud, so we're just going to jump in and talk to you a little bit. Wish me luck.
What I don't like is really that whole talking section. I don't think we need it. I don't. I would cut it. The context is already there. You've got reselling in the title. People know you're a reseller. People know you're going to Walmart looking for stuff to flip. You've got a cart full of video games that they've already seen. They know what you're doing with it. I would just, you reselling them or something? Cut to black. Then maybe just go boom right here with a little text in the corner saying earlier that day or something like that, right? Give people all the context they need to understand the timeline. But I like, especially because people are clicking for that specific interaction, tease it in the beginning, then boom into the like body of the like actual hunting of the video.
See if the guy can live it out. And you know I'm in a Walmart because you can hear a crying child, so that's good proof.
Yeah, I like that. That's funny.
Nothing too crazy so far. We've got lawn and garden stuff. These toys are only $5 off. That's really not a good deal. So
that's kind of slow. I would probably speed that up. I don't know if people really need to hear you talk all that much about the deals that are not that good. Personally, like I have no problem at all. I don't know what the percentage is going to end up being of this video, but maybe you put half of it into like speed up mode with a little bit of light music in the background intermittently, right? Whenever there's a little bit of a lull, or you just cut it. And this ends up being a 9-minute video rather than 15. I'm big on shorter videos if it means quicker payoffs and more satisfied viewers.
Honestly, I'm not too concerned about toys and stuff on this aisle. I'm mostly just checking to make sure they don't have any video games over here. Ooh, here we go. King Kong, $12.93. This is how much they normally are. So unless these are on secret clearance or something, that's not a good deal. These are not really on sale either. So overall, oh, that's funny. At Home Reality, Monopoly. So overall, I'm not really seeing any awesome deals here. I'm going to scan a couple things just to check the prices, and then we're going to run to the video game.
I would have cut all that. I don't see a reason to keep it in.
Gamepad.
I like this. This is very related to the title and thumbnail, right? It's the game hunting. You're like, oh, this is the process of finding stuff, right?
Okay. Unless somebody's already been here.
That's a little bit contradictory to what I just said. The reason that I like this, like not necessarily buying stuff, but looking around and not the other, is that this is more related to the exact thing that people clicked for.
I'm going to look here. I'll let you guys know. All right, so we made our way over to the video games section.
This is smart too. Like if you can't like talk in the moment, being willing to do go the extra mile and do the voiceover later, I like that.
Here where they have Nintendo and PlayStation games. I've got my list pulled up on
there you go.
Games that I'm looking for.
Yeah, show people, like give people that, oh shoot, there are $2 games around here. Like what?
For $2 a piece. Just Dance 2021. Balon Wonderful, Devil May Cry 5.
Balon Wonderful.
Start by looking for the PlayStation games in the PlayStation area, and there was some Uncharted games.
He's looking. Uh-oh, I spy a cart of games.
PS5. The PS4 one was not on sale. Indivisible was $3.50. I wasn't sure if Narcos was on sale. There's another Death Stranding for $2 right there.
Nice, he's banking.
And
yeah, dude, if you started this video here, that's a banger. Not there, but with that, right? Like not immediately on it, but like, okay, I'm in the game section. Check this out. There are $2 games around here. We got to sniff them out and find them. And then like soon after, you're just tossing games into the cart, like, you know, a freaking baller, like the Hugh Hefner of Walmart. You're racking it up. And then the best thing is not long after that, I think I saw it. Yeah, right here.
Making sure I wasn't making a mess.
I just don't know what to do.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh, I'm looking at video games. This is my GoPro. My camera, I record myself
Okay,
shopping.
I'm just like making sure that you're not just like person with some fancy device, you know, still games. I'm sorry, I'm just doing my job.
No, you're good. You're good.
Dude, I love it. I freaking love that. I would get to that moment as soon as you feasibly can. I love the like, oh, you're gonna no, not that. You're gonna be reselling them? Bang. I'm in the video game aisle. This is the kind of stuff that we're looking for. Boom, I'm finding a bunch of it, You could tell for that whole interaction, I was in it. I was like, uh-oh, there's some relational tension here. Someone's getting called out, like what's happening? If you could get to that within the first minute of the video, honestly, you could probably do it within the first 30 seconds. Like, I think you'll have even better results.
No, I record myself shopping, finding deals and stuff.
So average view is 7 minutes, 45% average view duration. Yeah, I think that's just because there's some fluff in here that could be cut. 45% honestly is not really where you want to be. Still 6,000 views in 2 days. Like, there's something about this video that really resonates with people. I think you've really found a solid community that really likes this kind of content, which is awesome. And you're doing a lot of stuff right. But yeah, I would be more Darwinian with the cuts that you're making in the edit. I've spent a lot of time on this one already as well, but I feel like it's probably going to be a lot more of the same going forward. Let's actually go to the very end.
Give a thumbs down to this clearance section right here. I'm going to show you guys again that I picked up a small stack of video games, and then I think we're going to wrap it up.
I would be less inclined to try to give like an accurate portrayal of like, here's every clearance section that I went in. I'd be much more fine with just showing the highlight reel, right? Like if you go into a clearance section like this, you've already filmed the part where you've gotten all the awesome games. Now you're in the like, don't film if you didn't buy anything, right? Like that's just fluff.
Thank you guys for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button for me.
Another wink right there.
Leave me a comment down below.
This man is Hugh Hefner.
So, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. So we've got this is the reason that I wanted to cut to the end of this is something I've changed about my channel very recently. I took my outro slide from 15 seconds down to 5. Why is that? Because I don't think that there's anybody in the world who will watch 5 seconds of an outro slide and then afterwards click on one of these 2 suggestions. I think if they're going to click something, they're going to do it in the first 5 seconds. And if they're not going to do it in the rest, slash it, because a lot of people, once they see this thing come up, or even when they hear you start to say, thanks for watching this video, they're going to click off. Right? So I don't want to have a whole 10 or in this case, 15 seconds at the end of every video where most people will have clicked off, because that's another little bit that's going to be hurting your AVD in the long run. So what I've done recently, and part of the reason for this is Mr. Beast does it too, is keep it to 5 seconds, because that's as short as the outro slides as these little suggestion things can be. They can only be 5 seconds. They can't be 3. So I would cut this down in all future videos to 5 seconds. Just another little quick tip. But yeah, well done. Next video. Pause it immediately. This is the everyday flipper. Let's take a look at the thumbnail. Garage sale jackpot. I like it. Honestly, I would change the color of this because it kind of blends in with the sky. Maybe blur the license plate too. I don't know if that's yours or someone else's. The only thing that I don't like about it, looking at it, is that like the arrow, it seems to be pointing to like a baby doll, which to me is not a jackpot item. Like I would go one of 2 directions. I would have it pointing at something that you can recognize as something that has value, or pointing towards something that you can't really see, like maybe a corner of the table that isn't really clearly visible. That's fine too. I don't see baby as jackpot. That's really most of what I have to say about that. I like the arrow. Arrows historically have done very well for me in thumbnails. I would also maybe, if you're going to use this neon effect on Canva, I would put some sort of a like half opacity shape behind it that makes the rest of this darker, if that makes sense. Like get a shape like this sort of curved rectangle, make it semi see-through and dark, and put it behind that jackpot to make it stand out even more on the green grass. Just a couple initial thoughts there. We hit the jackpot at this garage sale. Okay, so this is actually what I would say is like one of the 7 deadly sins of titles and thumbnails, which is repeating information. And I see this all the time in titles and thumbnails. We saw it earlier today. If I see a text in your thumbnail, which is what I'm always going to look at first, garage sale jackpot. And then I'm like, okay, that's kind of interesting. What's the title? We hit the jackpot at this garage sale. Oh, I already knew that. Can you give me anything else? Give me something. So, like this, like my mind was blown by this find. That's generic. As much as possible, I don't really like generic titles. I think they hurt more than help most of the time. But something else in this, because I can't really give a suggestion because I haven't seen the video, but something that would create a little bit more intrigue that's not garage sale and jackpot.
Welcome back to the channel. Welcome for the first time if you are new here.
Oh, it's your channel. Okay. I love it.
Yeah. So
Young YouTuber.
today we managed to go out to some garage sales. We actually hit a community garage sale for the first time in, I think, ever on this channel. They don't happen too often here on the Gold Coast, but we just hit jackpot after jackpot after jackpot here. Massive variety in items. Some bread and butter items I pick up every time I go out, and then some items I've never tried before, but they all come along with some great profits, which is always amazing. But it was really fun to get out there, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let's get straight into the first find.
I love seeing younger YouTubers. That's fantastic. I don't want to speculate of how old you are just because I don't want to offend anyone. But good for you, man. What I would say on this is, you said, let's get straight into the first find. This is something that both Cincinnati Picker and Froggy Flips, whose channel has been absolutely blowing up this last year, both of them do this, and that's they don't have an intro. Their title and their thumbnail serve as their intros to their video, and they literally will just start with this.
How much did you have on the PS3?
Yeah, 50.
See, this is another great opportunity. Don't start here. That's kind of funny. I do like that, but I would put that maybe later. If you're asking yourself, what's the most potent scene that I can possibly start this video with? Questions are great.
Is it working and everything?
Not that, but how much you got on your PS3? That'd be a killer intro. I'd really like that. But 208 views already and 422 subs. Like, you're clearly figuring things out. So good for you for that.
So with the PS3 consoles here, I generally like to do a bundle with about 5 or 6 lower end games.
A voiceover too. Oh my gosh, every day. You've got a lot of stuff working for you.
I think I get around $150 to $160 plus postage here. I put up a comp of my last PS3 bundle, but I'm really happy to pick this sort of item up for around 40 to 50 bucks most times, especially when you can find lots of games.
That was great. That little screen record right there, adding context to the viewer of the thing that you're actually picking up, really smart and like high. That's the kind of effort that a lot of people don't really want to put into their edits, but that really contributes to a better video.
It's like this one had here.
Nice. That's honestly, I'm pleasantly surprised. Like, I was expecting from like a lower view video on how old is this channel? Whoa, the oldest video is 2 months ago. You've got a lot of stuff figured out here every day. I'm impressed. Let's go back to our playlist here.
Welcome. So if you don't happen to follow me on Instagram, the link is in the bio, but all my Instagram followers have already seen this pickup and they know how much it's gone for.
Plug in the gram.
Fine. These Sony Handycams go for a great amount. You're about to hear how much I paid for it, and I'll pop a comp up at the same time.
That's the exact same way. Whenever I remember to plug the gram, that's how I do it as well. Like, just hint at content that you have on there that is like more timely or like a little bit more behind the scenesy or whatever than like what you're necessarily getting in the video, to actually inspire people who like you and who follow you to go on over there to another platform and follow you there as well.
Be on the lookout for these. 5? I do that, thanks. How much are the glasses?
What I'd recommend for your yard sale footage, I'm guessing that this is probably just a smartphone that you're kind of like taking along with you and like trying to use with one hand. My setup is I have a GoPro that with a clip, it might be, here it is. Here's the actual clip for it. This thing was like 10 bucks or something, that I will just clip on to my backpack that I'm wearing. And it's not like the most inconspicuous thing ever. Like, I've seen people use like spy glasses or like really tiny cameras. Mine is this big with the GoPro clip. But it allows me to be hands-free. And that's a big thing at yard sales. And it allows me to actually show, if I'm looking something up on my phone, I can show it in the frame as I'm like looking at the thing and inspecting it in real time. So that's helpful as well. Nice. See, I love the comps here because that's what people want from yard sale vlogs. They want to know exactly like what stuff's worth and like what you're paying and see the negotiations and all that. Another benefit, by the way, of having the GoPro strapped onto your backpack is that you can capture more of the people that you're dealing with. A huge thing that people watch yard sale vlogs for, just like I was talking about with the flipping accountants video earlier, is the interactions, right? That's where the drama comes from. And people on YouTube love drama. I would definitely consider, sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I would definitely consider using the GoPro method just because it'll allow you to get those shots of like the indignant face when you ask for a discount, or, you know, laughing at, you know, some little joke you said or something like that, right? Those little human moments that people are really into beyond just the thrill of the flip. If you can get both of those, that's where channels really start to pop off. But I love what you're doing here with the comps popping up, because that allows you to not over explain everything later. Something that I've done that like this could actually honestly in some ways make my channel better, some of my hauls, rather than sitting so long in my car and saying, I got this and I should get this, and I got this and I should be able to get this much money, and I got this, blah, blah, blah. That kind of takes away from the pacing of a yard sale vlog. So I think I actually would be helped by doing more of this, of people are hearing me give offers, seeing me exchange the money, exactly how much I'm paying. And then if I just pop up on screen, this is how much I'll get, this is how much I'll get, blah, 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 I could just roll right into the next sale. And then maybe at the end of the video say, on all this stuff, I expect to make X. Yeah, the biggest thing that I'm noticing about your footage as I'm scrubbing through it is it's a lot of feet. Feet and floors, which can, again, be avoided if you have that like actual camera mount. And I would say, I mean, clearly you're a younger dude. A lot of people wouldn't have the money to be able to afford a GoPro and clip for a backpack. It seems like you might be able to, though. You're getting some really solid deals on this stuff. So
really happy with that buy. And on top of this, there's some clothing items that are absolutely insane, and I normally wouldn't pick this sort of thing up, but just based on how cheap it was, I decided to pull the trigger.
That's great. You have really good on-camera charisma as well. I'm impressed with just the, like, you seem like you know what you're doing despite having only been uploading for 2 months. So I commend you for that. And yeah, just keep up the good work. You've got the comps that you're pulling up as you're talking about the haul at home as well. The only thing that I would do different here, oh, you're doing it here though. You're pulling up the actual items that you're talking about physically.
$15 games, all of these. World Rally Championship, Star Wars, Force Unleashed 2. Dirt.
That's a little slow. I would maybe go, because we've already seen all of these before. We know what you picked up, and we've seen the comps. So this is a little bit redundant. I would simplify this and shorten it to end kind of on a high note of, what's up, folks? I'm back now. Here's everything that I picked up laid out, and here's what I expect to make. Peace, right? End it. That's a big thing that I've been thinking about recently too, is not extending the endings of my videos, right? Ending on a little bit of a high note and cutting it off, if anything, early, right? If a video feels like it ended too soon, people are going to want to watch another one. So I would be more inclined to under-explain than over-explain. But Everyday Flipper, well done. This was like an underdog, and I'm impressed, even though you've only been on the platform a short time. Up next, we've got Resale Play. So on the thumbnail, I would say if your channel is super new, I don't think it's as important to have your face in the thumbnail, just because nobody knows you. That maybe sound harsh, but it's not supposed to be. I would, this feels a little bit too homemade to me. So I would get some like more concise, like maybe instead of this, you get like the icons for like the iOS apps for eBay and Amazon, and you put those in the corner. Or I think what would even be better is showing some like illustrative screenshots of what you're talking about in this video, of like maybe a line graph of my profits have gone up over time. That can be really interesting for people to see. Or like a dollar amount total if you think that's going to be impressive. Or maybe it's blurred out. There's a lot of directions that you can go. I don't think that like here's a gentleman that I don't really know smiling in his basement with eBay and Amazon and like there are other what sold videos out there that I'm going to be more likely to click on. So I would try to differentiate yourself a little bit in your approach. And then title, eBay, Amazon sales over after 2 months. I've got a video coming out tomorrow that is my take on the what's sold genre. I'm not super bullish on it in general. I think that because those videos are so easy to make, there are tons of people doing them, and it gets old fast. Like there are some people who are like deep in the resale rabbit hole and trying to learn more and all that like what sold videos. I think they get old quickly, and so I don't do a ton of them. If you're going to do them, my biggest recommendation is spice them up somehow, right? Change up the format. Or the way that I did it, as you'll see tomorrow, is 100 video game sales in 10 minutes. It's rapid fire. It's intriguing. People are like, whoa, like how long did it take him to sell those 100 items? And what maybe did he make on everything? And what are some of the items that he's going to be selling? At least that's what I'm hoping. We'll see how the video actually performs. Honestly, I expect it to kind of underperform, but it was a 100,000 subscriber special, and it kind of fit with 100 items and all that. And it's my first ever sponsored video, so that's a lot of fun too. But I'm blabbing about myself at this point. The point of it is, eBay and Amazon sales after 2 months. That's actually like a little bit intriguing. I think it needs a little bit of tweaking along with the title the thumbnail as well. I would maybe indicate somehow visually that this is about the amount of time that it took to get these eBay and Amazon sales. I might phrase the title again in the form of a question. Like, how much money can a new eBay account make in 2 months? That's a little bit clunky. How much money can a new eBay seller make in 2 months? eBay seller make in 2. That's 12 words. That's bad. You can wordsmith it, but something like that that's a little bit more intriguing, like that's going to get people's gears turning of presenting some sort of a mystery. If I haven't encountered your channel before, I don't really care about random dudes eBay/Amazon profits. What I am intrigued by is how far is it possible to get if you're literally 2 months in, right? How much money can you make on eBay in 2 months? That's interesting, right? I tried eBay and Amazon for 2 months. Here's what happened. It's kind of a common format for a title. That's interesting too. Those are good options that, look at that. Just pull it out of my bald head. Let's get into the actual video.
Right. Today we're going to be breaking down our profits, probably something you guys all want to hear from our past large purchases and or even our small purchases over the past 2 months.
Again, that's a perfect time to throw in B-roll of those large purchases if you have it. Oh.
So on Amazon.
Okay, so if you're going to have an intro slide, I like the short intro slides, right? Like that was almost more of a like transition even than an actual like intro segment. So if you're going to have one, I like that it's that short and it gives people minimal time to click off.
Amazon right now. We did 29,000, a little over. We'll pop up the number here in sale.
That's great. That's real. Like, even if, you know, Canadian monopoly money, whatever, 29,000, like, that's an impressive number. I would like flex that a little bit in the title or thumbnail, right? How I sold 20, or I guess, wait, was that the last, how long was that?
Sales. After fees, we're looking at, after fees, we'll pop up the number here in sales. In a little over. We'll pop up the number here.
If that's in 2 months, I couldn't glean it from the
29,000, a little over. We'll pop up the number here in sales. After fees, we're looking at about
last 12 months, it said, but that would depend on when you actually started. If you sold $29,000 in 2 months, that's some crazy clickbait. Like, how I sold $29,000 on Amazon in my first 2 months. There's something there.
$24,550. For eBay, we did $6,200 in sales. After fees, we're looking at $5,456. And then Facebook Marketplace, it was $5,905. There wasn't much fees on this one, but I did include free shipping, so it came to about $5,740.
So let's scrub through this video a little bit. Okay, so we do have some more footage here. This first part, like, these numbers on their own don't really mean much to me, right? Like, they're just numbers that are like going into your bank account, and like, I'm happy for you, but there's not much context. Like, it'd be cool to know a little bit more of like the journey, right? Make it into more of a narrative, and then reward us with the numbers at the end. Not at the very end, but like periodically throughout the video. So if you wanted to do it this way, you could say, all right, I've been selling on Facebook for this long. It was a slow start, but I was doing this, and then I changed my strategy and, you know, was doing this, and I was learning this along the way. And ultimately in the last 2 months, we were able to net $5,000+ Like, that's a payoff. That's much better than I made this much on Facebook and I made this much on Amazon, whatever, right? If, like, make it into more of a story, make me invested emotionally.
So in total, between the three, we did $35,746.
Such an impressive number, man. I would definitely leverage that more. And also, while you're talking about all of this, again, B-roll, right? Or shots of like your shipping station, or like a time lapse of you shipping a bunch of packages, or like listing stuff on eBay, even if you didn't get footage of the initial deals. Like, there are B-roll clips that you can put in there that are relevant to what you're saying, that allow me to not just look at the unfinished basement for the whole like first minute of this video.
In sales between the three, but that is just what's sold. We do have a lot of extra inventory left over.
Yes, these kinds of shots. This is exactly what I'm talking about.
On the side, so total spent, we spent 11.75 on the first initial lot.
Yes, well done. This is you get it. Like, you get it. You just do more of it.
Spent $9,750 on the GameCube lot, and then $4,500 on other pickups on Facebook Marketplace. All right, so that comes to a total of $25,000 spent. Meaning the $35,746 we made after fees, we made about 10K profit so far, but we do have a lot of leftover inventory still to be sold.
Nice.
In leftover inventory, we have 9,000. For Amazon, we still have dollars.
So yeah, my biggest prescription for this, I like that this is short. Actually, there's not enough short form resale content out there, so I would encourage you in that. I would say the biggest things: one, make it into more of a narrative, get me more emotionally invested, and bring me along on more of the journey, even on these update kind of videos. Market it a little bit more intriguingly, and also put a little bit more work in on the front end to shoot more B-roll that you can use and intersperse in your explanation to make it more visually engaging. But well done overall. Okay, so this, the FI Resellers, if that stands for financial independence, I already love you guys. Where did I miss it? Here we go. $2 haul, y'all. I like that it has, I'm assuming that you guys also probably have like a more personal relationship based kind of a following on your channel. So I do like that you're in it. I like that it's got, like, this is a haul video, so you've got the haul in it. That's great too. The colors are not very good. This is pretty, like, beige is, it's got to be one of the worst colors for thumbnails. So I would find some like sort of more colorful place to shoot this, or I would get good at like removing backgrounds. There's easy background removal software out there. Remove the background from this and just put you onto some sort of like a more interesting background, like a daisy field, or I don't even know. $2 haul, y'all. I like that it's only a few words. I don't love the font though. I would say readability is so important. Like, can I read this? Yes, but it's a little bit it's not entirely optimal. Like, on a scale, this is probably like an 8 out of 10 in terms of readability. You really want a 10 out of 10 font. Other than that, big smiling face for a haul video is a good thing, and I like that it's only a few words. So yeah. The title, Business Built on $2 Thrifted Items. It's a thrift haul, y'all. Holiday haul a days, hauls 4 days. That is a mouthful, and too much of a mouthful for me to click on for sure. I would say, like, this title would be a lot better if you cut this. Business Built on $2 Thrifted Items. That's interesting. I don't think, and I don't know your viewers, but I would guess most of them don't care a ton about all this stuff. And the people who don't watch you definitely don't care. So I would keep the title to what is going to be most interesting for people who watch or don't watch your channel. Business Built on $2 Thrifted Items. That's not bad. I would ask yourself, how can you make this more interesting? Like, create a little bit more intrigue, like I've been saying with all these titles. Like, what if it was how to, like, you could calculate the total of everything in this video, which maybe you did and I just haven't seen it yet. How to make $1,200 a month reselling $2 items. That's an interesting title, right? How to make $1,200 per month reselling $2 items. That's 10 words. It's not the best, but the intrigue is there, more so than Business Built on $2 Thrifted Items. That's a little bit more abstract. I like to take things like into the immediate, into the tangible, right? $1,200. Wow.
This was really funky. It was a totally unique piece, so I decided to pick it up. Biggie, is he the one that went? Yeah,
Ooh.
that one where the Kuji sodas. I feel like I could see him in this, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick it up.
Okay, so you have the idea here already of including that little teaser clip, that little juicy morsel of the video at the beginning, the hook, which I like. I don't know if that's enough of a hook for most people. Like, it's mildly interesting, but I think a better hook would be filming like a totally separate scene, which goes along with maybe the like maybe you do brand it $1,200 in a month on $2 items. The opening scene could be you've laid everything out, or I guess it's sales, so that's hard. Maybe the profile, or not the profile picture, maybe the thumbnail is you guys like grinning and holding cash, and the background, again, you would have to be able to remove backgrounds. the background is just a ton of eBay sales. That's actually what I did in my video for tomorrow. You're welcome to steal it if you want. I don't know how well it's actually going to perform, but something to illustrate the scope of what you're selling. You've like, in a way, you've got that here because you've got a whole bunch of apparently listed inventory in the background of your thumbnail, but I think this could be conveyed in a much more visually intriguing way. I don't know exactly what that is because I haven't gotten into the video, but that's where my mind goes. I need to start moving through these. Holy cow.
The 5 resellers. And today we have a haul for you. This is actually a cumulative haul. We went to the Family Thrift Center outlet twice, technically separately.
Yeah.
I went once and then King went once. And so combined, this is what we picked up. Both times were...
Okay, so this isn't actually... Okay, so this isn't a what's sold. This is a haul video, which some people who have normal sized brains may have inferred from the fact that it says haul literally 3 times in the title. I'm an idiot. Of course. So yeah, it's a haul video. You can lay out everything in some way that is like interesting. And instead of saying like actual sold value, you can project what your expected profit is and say, you know, just rework your title like that. This pile of $2 items will make us $1,000 or $200 or whatever it is, right? That's intriguing. And I would get right into that. I wouldn't give the background of like, this is constituted of me going one time and him going one time and, you know, whatever. And I hope that doesn't come across as like overly mocky. That's not what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to say is, from the perspective of someone who hasn't seen your channel, this is going to feel slower than you mean it to be. So I would start obsessing over like, okay, in this first 30 seconds, how can we convey? And this is part of the reason why I heavily suggest thinking about and visualizing your title and your thumbnail before you even shoot the video. That's something that's really hard to do early on, but if you get in the habit of it, you'll understand, okay, here's how we're trying to brand this, how we're trying to hook people. Here's why people are going to click. How can we deliver on that hard in the first 10, 20, 30 seconds? So I'm envisioning you guys, you have this whole haul. It's spread out on the floor. And one of you is filming, and the other one, here's what it is. I'm filming the other person, huge haul on the floor. First scene, first 2 seconds of the video is somebody tripping right onto this haul and being like, oh, dang, we're going to make $800 on these $2 items. Stick around and we'll tell you how we're going to do it, right? Suddenly, you've grabbed their attention because they're like, oh my gosh, did this person just put itself in physical harm's way for a YouTube video? That's interesting and quirky. I'm saying that because I literally did that for an ad read on a video that I have coming out on the 14th. Kind of tacky, but like, you know, it's an ad read. So how are you going to keep people's attention? That's where my mind goes. So to grab someone's attention, or I did this in a video really early on as well. I sat in a chair right here and had the GoPro camera set up just like on a table or something. And the first scene was Erica just chucking items at me, right? And then afterwards, I was like, I said something stupid like, oh, hey, look, inventory. And that was how I started the video, because I was just trying to grab people's attention and also incorporate the thing that I kind of teased in the title and thumbnail. That was long-winded.
Just okay. We didn't pick up that many items each time. I think it's just harder when you're by yourself. Mm-hmm. And I went to one that I don't usually go to when I went by myself, and it's a much, much smaller store. So I was a little overwhelmed. It's scary going out there by yourself.
I like that zoom in. That's a good little editing thing to build a little bit of emotional connection. Harry Tornado says, roast me, roast me. If Harry Tornado's still in here, drop another comment in the chat and I'll put you next because I think that'd be fun. And I also do agree with the ATL flipper that you need to roast me on your channel.
You know, it was just a different experience. So
we're going to be doing 4 hauls this December, and we're going to be calling it Hauls for Days. Get it? Holidays, hauls, 4 days, 4 days. Okay, we're going to do...
that was a funny edit. The more of that kind of stuff you guys can do, the more connected people are going to feel to you. I'm big on jokes in resale channels, especially since you guys are already like a couple and you've got that like interpersonal dynamic going on. She puts up with this kind of stuff every single day. What would be funnier than this is like a thought bubble, or that like maybe just appear. It doesn't even have to be a bubble. It could just be like right over her head of like, wow, you're so stupid, or something like that. That's just like kind of funny. And it's clear that it's a joke. Riff's been doing that in my edits, but like with my dog or even with him. And it's been great.
Do 4 hauls. And this is the first of them. We're going to do a few various types of thrift stores. And so this one was the Family Thrift Outlet Center, and it's one of our usual spots. But anyway, let's get started. So our first item is a pretty good one, is a pair of Fry slides.
So this is a...
Okay, I'm coming up on over an hour and a half right now, so I've got to start moving through these a little bit more. I hope that feedback was a little bit helpful for you guys. I would just, the biggest thing is focus on like, how can we make this haul video, which there are dozens of other people out there doing haul videos, because like you can film them like from the safety of your own home, and you know, with the stuff that you're already, you know, just talk about your business. It's an easy format, which is great. How can you make that unique? How can you twist it? How can you brand it in a way that is going to be more engaging for people? That's the biggest takeaway for me. Hopefully that was somewhat helpful.
Hey guys, it's Dustin, the Pro Picker here.
Largest Amazon return bin haul of all in a long time. So much profit, Amazon bin. So I like the arrow. This is an example of the arrow is going to something that you can't tell exactly what it is. I like that, as I've said. The thumbnail is a little bit busy for me, and the colors aren't great. Red is not a color that sticks out a ton on YouTube because like there are other branding elements on the platform that are red, right? We're looking at subscribe, we're looking at YouTube, we're looking at the red partially played bar here. But so, and what I would have done here is potentially take out all this and maybe include your face like a shocked face. Or like maybe you're holding up a ton of money and you're like, okay, and you like put some little cash signs in your eyes and you're like, okay, I'm going to make some money on this, rather than so much profit Amazon bins, because you've already said Amazon bins in your title. Largest haul in a long time. That doesn't really grab me. What would I say? Josh actually has a couple of videos from the Amazon return store that have done really well. I would take a look at those and ask yourself, what is it about how he branded those that is doing so well? And go for there in terms of nothing comes to my mind immediately. I might have to watch a little bit more of the video.
I'm headed to MVP Liquidations, the Amazon bin sale, the return store, and we're going to go...
I like that you threw the Amazon up there. That's at least a little bit more interesting than this dark driving footage. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Check out what they have for $7 restock day. Now, we're going to go head over there real quick. It's really dark, so let's cut over to some footage where you can actually see some stuff.
Yeah, I think you kind of knew. I think you kind of knew that that wasn't great footage. As much as possible, and you probably know this, I would film that segment. If you have to film it beforehand, I would say you don't have to film it. People have the context already of the video from the title and the thumbnail. You're going to the Amazon Overstock store. Just start with that.
All right, guys, it's probably hard to see, but we're actually second in line here.
There you go.
All right. Got some Dame there. Don't grab that, though, way down the bag.
This is actually really intriguing to me. Even though the footage isn't the best, like it's through a window and everything, it's like you're getting a little sneak preview I would I think that this is a really compelling opening of like, you're in line and we're along for the journey with you of, okay, we're like trying to crane our heads as well and like figure out what's in these windows. And that's a pretty, I think, interesting way to start a video. You can't see everything, right? You're like squinting, like what's in there?
To see, almost certainly tough to see with the camera. Looks like some shoes.
Mm-hmm. It's just a hint. It's just it's the right amount. I like that a lot as an intro. Okay, yep, watch till the end, see the potential profit. Nice, that's a good climax. A personal thing for me that I've stopped doing on my channel, I'll never ask people, and I used to do this as well, to like and subscribe before I've delivered to them what I promised in the title and thumbnail. I sound like a broken record on that, but I'm insistent these days that I'll never ask someone for anything until I've provided what they wanted from me first. Was that a little, put that back? Oh, see, again, having the comps pop up makes this for a much more engaging watch. Oh.
I got it. I figured it out.
There you go. So I'm assuming from that there was like some like indication early on that maybe that would be as a part of the sale and you were looking for it and you found it and you're excited. I would maybe like if there is that kind of a preview, mention it as you're peeking into the window ahead of time, being like, I know that there was this like computer setup thing ahead of time. Like they previewed it and that's what I'm looking for. That could be some really good anticipation if you have an idea of what's there.
Thank you.
It seems like the other people knew too. Dang, all kinds of good stuff in here. So as I'm watching this now, I'm realizing that the title could have been, if you actually did know about that item, everyone was looking for it, but I found it. That's kind of interesting, right? More so than, because that as a viewer, I'm like, okay, why were they all looking for it? Probably because it's a high dollar item. What is it? And if the arrow is pointing to a part of the store that I can't really see, I have to click to find out. Hey, Thrift School's in here. He says, roast me. All right, I'll try to do you next.
Oh.
So how long does this go? It looks like through the whole thing, you're doing a good job of pulling up the comps and showing what the heck you're getting. I think this is a really good, this will definitely give people that like secondhand high of treasure hunting. So I like all that. Let's get to this section of it.
You know, I'm going to give this a real quick taste test from the bins because we like to taste test Amazon return foods here. So this is the super treat from Cloud 10.
That's a funny segment. I like that.
I've never heard of them, but
what I would say, I have a similar segment in the GameCube Gambit where I will play a GameCube game. At the end, I noticed my retention took a big hit because it started to drag. So I would say learn from my mistakes and make this ending segment really short. Oh, okay. So you actually just interspersed this into the bins haul isn't even done. I actually kind of like that, but I'd make it really short so that people don't click off. Then you're back in the bins, digging through stuff, and then you go through your haul. What I'm noticing just from scrubbing here is that this is a long period where you're just talking to the camera and there's nothing popping up until about 17 minutes. So that's over 3 minutes. That's like 4 minutes of just you talking to the camera, and it's not even framed up all that well. if you're not including B-roll or pop-ups or something, or like zooms in and out, it's going to be really hard to keep people's attention. So I would definitely mix that up more and try to cut it as short as possible. But yeah, I'm trying to move through these a little bit quicker. Hopefully that was a little bit helpful for you, Pro Picker. And well done. You're clearly, I mean, 19,000 subscribers. You know what you're doing. You probably give me a lot of tips too. Feel free to shoot those my way if you see anything that can be optimized in my video. That goes for everybody who I'm roasting. Let's go ahead and pull up real quick. Go to YouTube, pull up Thrift School since he's in the chat. Thrift School, an OG. So let's just go with the most recent one. Whoops.
What is up, YouTube?
Not what I wanted. Oh, no. All right, we'll just do this one. Oh, it hasn't come up yet. Where is it? Where's that good old thumbnail? There you are. Day 5. So this is very similar to day 6. You've done this challenge before, so I know what this is. Going to the same going to the same thrift store every day, and like, can you still make profit? I think that's a good series. I'm like, my instinct with it is, what if you made it all one video? That's a very unsexy like take on that. And I would say it depends a lot on like whether you're satisfied with the views that you're getting and the growth that you're getting from these videos. But I would say it's worth a shot. And maybe you do make a video for every single trip, but then at the end, you put the extra effort in to make an entirely new video that's not just like a shot, a screen grab from the GoPro with day whatever. Like, maybe model it a little bit more on other videos in like the challenge genre and try to like make something there, probably with your face in it and like probably with some money somewhere and the title would be, I went to the same thrift store 7 days in a row. How would you phrase that? I went to the same thrift store 7 days in a row, because you'd want to suggest to try to find profitable items. I don't know what what the second part of that sentence would be, but I would wordsmith that some. I think a video dedicated to the whole experience is so much more clickable than individual days. That's just my instinct. And it'd be a lot more work to put that all into one video without the payoffs of the smaller videos along the way. I get that. But after this, like, you have all the footage already. This is probably what I will do with the GameCube Gambit finale. Like, once I get all of my games, like, there will be the regular finale video of we're putting the last game on the shelf. And then I'm going to do another video that's a lot of like narrative of me in here, like, and the title will be something like how I built this GameCube collection in 1 year for free. And it's going to be me narrating and taking people back through the whole experience of building the collection, because how much more clickable is that than I found a bunch of great GameCube games today, right? It's people click for stories. So that's what comes to my mind first without even like really analyzing this thumbnail. Love the font. You got the outline going on. Like, you know what you're doing, dude. And I do like that it kind of signifies the time relative to the rest of the challenge. You've clearly got a cart full of items. That kind of makes me a little curious. I'm trying to think, because I'm asking myself, is there some other? These clearly have done well for you, so I wouldn't even necessarily say change all that much about it. Like, your font is good. You could optimize it more with the colors and stuff like that. But I like seeing all the blue. Blue stands out on YouTube really well, along with yellow. So I think overall your colors are pretty decent. 7-day Goodwill thrifting challenge. Can I go to the same Goodwill every day? Can going to the same Goodwill every day make you money? That title's way too long, I think. What if you changed all your titles to I went to the same Goodwill every day for a week. I went to the same Goodwill every day to try to make money. That's a little bit longer than I normally like, but I think my instinct says that title gets more clicks than 7-day Goodwill thrifting challenge. Can going to the same Goodwill every day make you more money? Ain't nobody reading that whole thing. You gotta like sit down and like bring your lunch in just to read that title. I'm kidding. I'm joking with him because he's been on the platform for so long. I think shortening that title to something a little bit more punchy would be my biggest recommendation. I think the thumbnail's honestly pretty good.
What is up, YouTube? Thrift School over here. We had a slight issue in the programming. Today is day 5 of thrifting Goodwill, 7 days in a row at the same time to see what we can find to buy and sell on eBay and Amazon. But I wasn't able to go yesterday, so I missed a day in a row. Today's Saturday, should have been Friday. We had some family stuff come up, and I just could not make it to Goodwill. So I'm not going to lie on here and say I went when I didn't.
I totally respect the integrity. I don't think anyone cares. You might have a few trolls in the comments that are saying, you didn't upload yesterday. This isn't a real challenge. The hater Hanks, right? If it was me, I would say screw them and not acknowledge it and just start my video right here, because this is a good payoff. This 30 seconds, if it's my first time stumbling into this series, I just don't really care about that. I just want to see you go through Goodwill and see if you make money.
Hopefully I find some better stuff this time. Let's go. All right, guys.
That's where I would start it.
We just got here and it is busy today. There are cars pulling up everywhere. The parking lot is packed. It's only 11 o'clock, so I'm surprised it's this busy already. Let's run inside and see what we can find.
So that was slightly longer than I would say it needed to be, but I like that, like, right from the beginning, you're like, okay, this parking lot is packed. It's almost building up a little bit of suspense there. Like, is this going to be overcrowded? Is it going to be picked through? I kind of like that.
There we go. I probably shouldn't have pulled up right here because there's a tree. That should be okay. Nice little Christmas display. That's new. That's why they emptied out these, to build a Christmas display. That makes sense. All right. Oh, this is a loud cart.
Nah.
All right. Let's see what's down here. I looked at the DVDs real quick, and I didn't see anything new there. It has been 2 days since I've been here, so you never know. But you never know. Sometimes they just don't put some stuff out for a day. Oh, this is different.
So at this point, after you're already in the Goodwill, if it was me, especially because this is a 20-minute long video and you've got plenty of room to work with, from 53 seconds all the way to 1:26, not much really happens. I would probably cut to the first interesting thing you find, or the first interesting thing that happens, just to try to maximize that retention. Again, I'm a broken record when it comes to retention, but I'm always thinking about where might somebody possibly feasibly click off on this video, and how can I minimize that possibility?
They've actually extended the VHS tape section out. I'm always looking for cool sealed things, but I have yet to really find anything that's cool and sealed. Nothing amazing anyways. And that's what I'm checking right now.
I don't really care about the stuff that's nothing amazing. I think a lot of people don't.
So I think these are all old, so they must have moved some of the new ones in here. Or maybe they just took out, because there were 2 stacks deep. They might have just taken that out. So I am not seeing anything interesting here. I also like to look for VHS tape cleaners. Those things can be really good. So definitely keep an eye out for those. I will, yeah.
Interesting. So I'm catching up with the chat here, and Thrift School says, I've tried shorter titles like you and other resellers, and my view count drops. Not sure why. See, that's why I say, like, test everything against your own experience, folks. My way isn't the ultimate way. Maybe there are some, like, keywords or something in there that are hitting the algorithm better. I don't know. I don't know how this platform works. If the long-winded mouthful titles are doing better for you, stick with it. A big part of why I'm like what I'm basing that on is not just my experience, but it tends to be what I see from like the top people on the platform. I model my behavior off of them with a high degree of confidence, just because I know that even if I have a string of a few videos where it doesn't work out, in general, like doing what they do, if I'm doing it well, will pan out. But again, you gotta go based on your own experience. There's nothing else.
Definitely pop that up on the screen for you guys, but VHS tape cleaners sell amazingly, and I've sold a bunch in the past. Obviously, blank VHS tape.
I like that. I like including any helpful tips like that. People will definitely get value from if they're out thrifting on their own too.
That too, but those have kind of gone down in value as of late, so I'm not seeing anything there. I found a better cart.
And actually, as I'm saying this, I'm aware as well that there are channels like Crazy Lamp Lady, for example, who gets crazy views for a daily channel, because I'm pretty sure, yeah, look at this. So that was only 7 hours ago. That doesn't really count. But if you scroll back to like a week ago, 42, 22, 55, 53, 25, 30, and she's uploading every single day. She's getting 20K plus views every single day, and her videos are very slow paced. Like, they're her meandering through the thrift store. Most of the stuff she's not buying, she's just kind of picking up. She's giving her thoughts, blah, blah, blah. Maybe that's more of like the genre that you're going for here. And I'm bringing my like idea-based video paradigm rather than more relational paradigm. People watch her because for a lot of reasons, but partly because like being a daily channel, she's like part of people's lives. They feel like they have a relationship with her. So she can wander through a thrift store slowly for 19 minutes and get 49,000 views. With what I would not look at this thumbnail and think that's a good thumbnail. I would think that text is washed out and I can't really read it, and it's not really big enough, and it doesn't have an outline, and that screenshot is not all that intriguing. But clearly she understands something about YouTube that I don't. And also it helps a lot that she has been doing this for freaking ever. She's not, she uploads so often, you can't even scroll down to the beginning of her channel. It's crazy. Nothing but respect for Crazy Lamp Lady. But why I say that is I'm realizing maybe the slower pace of this is part of what appeals to people. And I just need to put a sock in my mouth. I don't know.
So we'll take this one and we'll leave my other one. We'll exchange. Oh no, wait, this one squeaks really bad. Oh, the carts here are so bad. We'll leave that. This guy's, so it's more for a little kid. The bindings are in. So I'm assuming that's the liner right there. Here's the other blade. These are pretty sweet. Oh, there's the price. $15. We're gonna try to look it up in a minute. We also have a really cool golf bag right here. OGIO. It looks like the Body Glove logo, but that's really nice. All right, so these rollerblades right here.
I love that. I love bringing up comps in the middle just to give context. Again, I've talked about that already, but I like that a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and honestly, this is probably what I would do if I was watching this video, because I don't personally gravitate towards the slower paced stuff, even though a lot of people do. I personally would skip to when you've already got the cart full of goods that was teased in the title and thumbnail.
Looking pretty full, and I got a lot of big things in here.
It's okay. You've had a good day.
That chalkboard, I looked up solds. There are none, but it's got to be from the 50s or 60s.
And how do you end this?
It's hard to tell, but too many big things in my cart. Never mind again, she's not getting it, so it's all good. But I think I'm gonna ring out of here. I think we did pretty good.
See, I actually really like that ending. It's not, even though I would have liked to see a recap of but honestly, I mostly would have liked to see a recap because I skipped the whole video. I think like if you're watching and you understand along the way, here's how much I'm going to make on this, I like just ending it in the thrift store. And if people are like, oh man, I kind of wasn't expecting it to end so soon, guess what they're going to do? Scroll down. Hey, there are a bunch of other ones that are the exact same like thumbnail layout. I know that I'm probably gonna like these videos too. Click, 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 easy. So yeah, I think I'm a little bit more hesitant to critique this one because it seems to be appealing to a different genre than I'm really used to. But hopefully some thought that I gave was helpful to you, Thrift School. Gonna catch up with the chat a little bit. It's tough since this is a series and you popped in the middle of the series. But if you were a new viewer, I totally understand. Yeah, you gotta qualify everything that I'm saying. It's all subjective. You model yours similar to Mr. Beast, which is smart as hell. It helped your channel explode. I appreciate that. I take a lot of inspiration from him. Just because he's the retention master. He is the single retention master. And so there is a lot to learn from him, I think. At the same time, his channel, like, well, I don't know. I hope ultimately that my channel is a little bit more relational than his. Because like I know if I hadn't watched 100 Mr. Beast interviews, I wouldn't know from his channel almost anything about him except a little bit about his rise on YouTube. But I want to be a little bit more I want to share a little bit more than that. ATL Flipper says her channel is really good. I think it's her personality and her knowledge. Yeah, responding to comments is huge. That's a great thing as well. I do a recap in most of my videos. You missed when I grabbed a Pokemon Heart Gold Game Boy carrying case. Oh yeah, I did miss that. Sorry about that. I'm trying to get through these as fast as I can. All right. We did that. Largest Amazon haul we did. Retro World Expo 2021. So this is a little bit more in the video game genre. That's a funny first scene. This, I like the font. And I like that it has an outline. This, first of all, you've miscropped this a little bit, it seems. Over here, there's that little white. And I would maybe change this image. Yeah, I don't think the logo here, like clearly you have a million logos here. If you've got Retro World Expo spelled out, you don't need TVs with a ton of logos in the shot. I would pick something that's a little bit more interesting, like maybe this maraca guy that's dancing, or more likely if it's a video game expo, like a really interesting booth or something like that, that people who want to watch a vlog of an expo like this, that would be intriguing for them, like items that they're going to recognize. Is this a channel intro? Yeah, you guys know my thoughts on channel intros already. I'm skipping it like I always do. Oh, it's still going. Right, this is Firespin. I met him at a convention that I was at recently.
Car's packed, guys.
Okay, so I think that it would have been like, I kind of like the dancing maraca guy because it's just kind of goofy and it's like, what? I would cut out the channel intro and then hop into the actual like body of the video.
Look at David back there, Porsche.
What's up, guys?
That's funny.
Doing good. Sunday morning, treat show. I gotta take you guys for a walk and show you around Retro World Expo. Resellers.
So if it were me, I would put some voiceover in over this afterwards, just because this is a lot of kind of dead space. It's very interesting visually, but I'd love to hear some more of your thoughts on it. Like, tell me what I'm looking at. Help me experience it as a viewer.
Like anywhere from 5 to 20.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Hey guys,
I don't know that guy.
Retro World Expo. It's going bye-bye. See you later. Yeah.
Wait, how much did it sell for? I want to know so much more information. You sold a sealed.
See you later.
Did I miss it?
Guys, we're at Retro World Expo. It's going bye-bye. See you later.
It's going by. Tell me how much it sold for. I'm so curious.
Look at this guy. It's Justin. Eric.
Okay, so that was a little bit random to me. That little dinner scene doesn't really fit with the rest of like we're gonna explore this expo, so I would maybe cut that. See, boom. That right there is your thumbnail. Retro World Expo 2021. And this signifies I'm taking you around through the booths and like giving you a little bit of vicarious experience of this expo. Ooh, that's spinning a little bit fast for my eyes to keep track of. I like the music. Bah, bah, bah. If you're not going to do a voiceover, music is the next best option. And S tier is soft music with a voiceover. This is a great shot. I would speed it up more. Oh my gosh. This goes on for minutes. Yeah, I don't think that anybody is really interested in watching people meander about from the same angle for multiple minutes. I would shorten that up. If the video ends up getting shorter, that's totally fine. What's after that? Oh, nothing.
Go down to Harvard Yard and go fucking park your Harvard.
Okay, that's kind of funny. We don't need 25 seconds of fire spin screen. I would shorten it to 5. But yeah, you're on your way. I would just like ask yourself, if I like put yourself in the viewer's shoes of if I'm someone who, for example, wasn't able to go to this con and I really wanted to, and I'm kind of bummed that I had to miss it. What kind of like, what's going to feel good for me to get to experience through you? It's going to be like looking through booths and maybe like cutting it up with some of the vendors and, having conversations on like, how's the con going? Like, what's the coolest item that you sold? What's the coolest item you still have for sale? Like, that could be a cool video idea of just like vendor interviews and like talking about interesting things that come up in the life of a vendor. Those are just my thoughts in terms of overall video idea. Hopefully that's somewhat helpful. I'm going to try to, holy cow. We've got like halfway through this list and I've literally been talking about YouTube optimization for 2 hours straight. Folks, like, I hope you can see, those of you, the 9 of you who are still here, thanks for sitting around with me. I'm just so passionate about this stuff. It's just like, it's just so much fun to me.
What's going on, guys?
I am going to have to go a little bit quicker though. Dealing with Dalton. This is someone that I have not personally dealt with Dalton, but I'd like to, and I keep seeing his name pop up places. So I'm curious to find out what this is. Too many words. I like the outline. I would go maybe like a yellow or red. The light blue is not bad. This $100 in profit sitting on the shelf. So maybe like a pair of cleats down here or something like that. I do like that. I mean, that's not bad. The actual like screen grab here, it's kind of blurry. So what you can do with that is even if you don't have the presence of mind to like take a nicer photo like with your iPhone or whatever of the shelf there to use, you can go back and you can like sharpen it in post and it'll make it look a little bit better. Definitely brighten up the colors though, because this is a lot of gray. Otherwise, I like the arrow and I like the hint of something intriguing with the text. I keep finding these insanely profitable shoes at the thrift. You don't need a whole sentence for your title. From the Closet to Profit episode 5, I've talked about why I don't put series indications in my titles, because I don't want someone who is new to the channel seeing episode 5 and being like, oh, I don't want to catch up on another 4 episodes. I'm not clicking on that. I would just omit this. And I would say, like, even if I was just working with these words, I think if you just put insanely profitable shoes at the thrift, that would do a lot better than what you have here. That's my gut instinct. I could be wrong.
Here, and welcome to episode 5 of From the Closet to Profit, the series where I'm taking 2 shoes out of my personal closet, selling them online, and seeing if we can snowball that into a profitable reselling business.
So this is part of what I'm currently learning with the GameCube Gambit. You're doing the exact same thing that I was doing that I think I've been doing wrong, which is over-explaining in the beginning. I'm going to start trying to do my intros as I'm walking into a video game store or a pawn shop. I think that's a lot harder to click off of than, hey guys, welcome back to Phoenix Resale. This is the GameCube Gambit, where I go out and I try to find profitable items to flip on eBay and Amazon, and I use the expected profit to build the GameCube collection of my childhood dreams. Like, that's fine, but it's not as, it's like, people are going to be like, okay, this guy is bald and he's ugly and he looks like he smells bad. I'm clicking off. Like, that's plenty of time for me to decide. I saw another suggestion on the side here that actually looks really entertaining, and I'm just going to go do that. What's a lot harder to click off of is, all right, folks, we're heading into this pawn shop here to find stuff, we're heading into this pawn shop to find profitable items so that I can buy more GameCube games for the collection. Let's see what we can find. And then boom, we're looking for stuff in the pawn shop, right? Within 10 seconds, you're in the meat of the video. That's what I'm striving for right now, and what could maybe be helpful with this challenge in terms of retention.
We finished up last episode with 20 pairs of inventory and $133.95 left in our shoe fund.
And this is the kind of thing that if you did take that approach, you could talk about, like, maybe you find your first pair and you're like, yes, this thing's going to be $40 in profit once it sells. And once I add that to last week's total of $133, if you guys don't know, this is an ongoing challenge where I started with just 2 shoes and now I'm working my way up. Now we've got $170 and it's only been 5 weeks. This is awesome. Suddenly you've introduced people, you've gotten them up to speed, but it's within the body of your video, right? You're not losing folks.
Go out and source more inventory with this episode. But before we jump into this week's footage, I need to announce the winner of last episode's giveaway.
Hot take, think giveaways are not good. They're not worthwhile for channel growth. I had somebody in my comments that was commenting on a post that I made about selling stuff on Whatnot. They were like, you could have used that money to do giveaways for viewers, but you're instead auctioning it. That's scummy. And, you know, that's just a hater, Hank, whatever. I think that giveaways are, I've done giveaways before. I don't think that almost anybody, if you were to do a poll on your channel, how did you find my channel? From another channel, from the suggested feed, I don't know, from Googling something, or I joined because of a giveaway, nobody's going to check that dang box. How many channels have you found that you love because they were doing a giveaway? Now, are giveaways a cool way to give back? Yeah, I do giveaways in the Discord fairly often. Like, we like kind of gamify it and like it's fun. But in terms of channel giveaways, I never do them because they don't result in growth. I don't think it's a cool way to give back, I guess. You're probably just a better person than me. But I would not start my video with it. If you have to put it in there, put it at the end, because most people aren't going to care.
Episode, we gave away some cleaning supplies to week's footage. So going into the 2-week vacation that I took.
Okay, hold up. Is this an intro after an intro?
I really was not expecting many sales to come through since my handling time was going to be so long, but quite the opposite actually happened. We had quite a few sales.
So this is a sales update to start out the From Closet to Profit like body of the video. Okay, hold up. This looks cool.
Cancel. So to go over the sales that came in, we sold these Brooks Ghost 12s for $39.87. We also sold the UGG slippers for $39.87 as well. We sold the Allbirds that we picked up in the last episode.
Okay, so I like this. I like this, like crowding the screen. It gets to look at this. That's awesome. I like that a lot. I'm just trying to think of a way that this could be quicker and punchier. I also would consider adding music, just so that music can really make a scene feel more fast-paced and interesting than it is. And I use that a lot.
$87. That gave us a total sales number for in the shoe fund to go sourcing with this week. So we got a lot of money to spend, and it is Thanksgiving week, so not a lot of time to do it. So let's jump into this week's sourcing and see what we find. So as you know, we have $325 and a few cents left to go sourcing with this week. This is definitely going to be a shorter week because tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so I got family stuff lined up for the next couple of these.
So here's the single biggest piece of advice that I would have, Dalton, is I keep finding these insanely profitable shoes at the thrift. Okay, as a new viewer, that's what I'm clicking for. If I have to wait 3.5 minutes before I see even any sign of a shoe at a thrift, I'm not lasting that long. I don't think. There are 597 people, and I would guess maybe half or so of them did last that long. I'm not saying no one will. I always try to put myself in the shoes of a cynical viewer who it doesn't know my channel, isn't invested at all, has ADHD, and they're looking for something else to click on. How do I keep that person? And that person is clicking off at about 9 seconds, maybe less. The quicker you can get to this, the better your retention is going to be.
Focus, thought we scored big, but unfortunately they were kind of beat and they wanted 13. So I decided to put them back. Luckily, right when I looked down the shelf, I found another pair of these New Balance 990. Well, this model is the 993 for $15. As you've seen in the previous episode, we sold these over $100, so that was an easy pickup. Next, I spotted these Vans Skate Highs. Good model, had a nice design on them, so for $7, that's an easy pickup. Wanted to include these because this is a nice Jordan model to pick up, but unfortunately, twisting it revealed that there was a little bit of...
Interesting. So I'm looking in the chat. I was listening to this, and this, honestly, if someone clicks because they want to see profitable shoes, they're going to enjoy this segment of just looking at stuff, talking about prices, talking about expected profit. This is what people are clicking for, and I like this. Someone said NC Picker is in the comments, the TikTok legend, saying, I think giveaways are bad for growth, but fine to convert viewers to subs, which actually is interesting. I haven't really thought about that. To me, I think that subs is a vanity metric. Does not matter at all. If somebody's consistently watching my content and they're not subscribed, honestly, I don't really care, because the algorithm is going to be pushing my videos to them anyway. If they're watching them to the end or liking or whatever, I'll probably still ask for likes in future videos. I don't think I'm going to ask for subscribes all that much, because if someone really liked your channel, they're probably going to subscribe without being asked. And I don't think it actually boosts you in the algorithm at all. I think it's all video to video. So I don't care that much personally about converting viewers to subs. Even though sometimes I will say, in the past, when I've asked for subs, I've said hey, more than half of the people that watch this channel aren't actually subscribed. Because I don't know. I guess my conviction has firmed up since then that subscribers don't matter.
Separation, so not worth trying to glue back or whatever. So those
Ew.
Back. So to go over everything I picked up at the stop, the first thing I grabbed were these youth Vans.
That's cool. I'm guessing you're filming with your phone here. There's an attachment that's just like a little clip that you can put on it that will widen the lens. I think these shots could definitely benefit from a wider lens, because you can see a lot of the shoe pile, even when you're hey, check out this shoe pile.
So to go over everything I picked up at the stop, the first,
you can't even really see the whole shoe pile because the lens isn't wide enough. So I would maybe invest. I think it's $10.
Youth Vans, they're only $3. That's going to be flipped into an easy $19 sell on Posh. It's grown as fast as it has. We keep finding these 990s for cheap, which is amazing. So at the end of the first stop, I ended up picking up 9 pairs of shoes for $90.
Got a little car update. I do that as well.
Even. see if that'll focus on there. Kids section, because you can always find these
Where you're giving some tips as well. That's good. I would give those in the store as much as possible because that's a lot more visually intriguing. That's something I'm trying to remind myself of as well, because I fall into the trap of over explaining while I'm in my car. If you're going to do that, definitely include B-roll and music to keep the intrigue up. I'm going to move on just because I'm short on time. Hopefully that was helpful for you, Dalton. Oh, I just clicked on that one.
Have you ever
Get you an extra view. All right, we've got Aristides Papoutsikis. Forgive me if I'm saying that wrong. Top 10 items to sell online, #reselling. You don't need the #reselling. Top 10 items to sell online. So you've got your smiling face in there. That's a good thing. You've got the money. The picture here doesn't necessarily say like online to me. Like this is good because you've got the colors, you've got the easy to read font. This looks maybe like Impact. I would take out the reselling because I don't think that adds anything. And the biggest thing that I would try to add is something that tells me that you're actually talking about reselling visually. Again, I talked about before, like the eBay logo or like an eBay screenshot or an Amazon screenshot or something like that. But overall, I like the colors, and you're on the right track for sure.
wanting to make money online?
Best items to sell online in 2022. Reselling for beginners. Not bad. Yeah, I like that.
Fine, but just don't know what to sell.
Except it's 2021. Are people already searching for 2022? I'd maybe switch that to 2021 for now and then back to 2022 in January.
I have 10 items, which I'm about to show you, which are a great place to start. You can find these items relatively cheap and flip them online for a profit. Before moving on with the video, please leave a like or subscribe. It would mean the world to me if you guys did throw a like on this video. That way I know if you guys enjoy content like this and if I should continue making it. Now on to the
So again, that was a little bit more of a long-winded ask too. I would definitely save that for after you've delivered on the video.
top 10 best items to sell online in 2022. To start things,
You're clearly, you know what you're doing in terms of like B-roll and animations. As much as possible, I would include footage that is, if you can shoot the B-roll yourself, it's always going to feel more personal than if you take stock footage from online. So that might be one way to improve that.
things off, hats are one of the best items that you can sell online. You can usually find them for $2 or less at garage sales, flea markets, or thrift stores. And then most of the time you can sell hats for $10 to $20 plus shipping. And sometimes you can even find some expensive hats that can go upwards of $50, maybe even kid chat, but the value slightly increased afterwards. And it's probably worth around like $100 right now. But I'm just going to hold it out. That's something I really don't want to be selling. So at number 2 on the list are used pairs of shoes. The best brands that you can look out for are Nike, Adidas, or there are so many more that you guys can learn. And
so I think it's probably, this says reselling for beginners. So this information strikes me as kind of intuitive, but honestly, as I'm thinking about it, it might not be intuitive for someone who genuinely is a beginner and doesn't know anything about reselling. I would frame this camera better. Having the top of your head cut off is not the best. Maybe back it up a little bit. And I don't really understand this background. That doesn't really make sense a ton to me.
You will learn over time as you increase your knowledge in the reselling business. One of the best parts of shoes is that they all tend to have style codes, which means that you can actually take the style.
See, that's good. That's good B-roll because you took it yourself. It specifically aids the point that you're trying to make in this informational style video. I like that.
Code of a shoe and look it up online to find out which specific model it is and how much it's going for. Usually you can spend anywhere between $4 to $10 on a pair of shoes, depending on where you're getting it from. And you can sell it anywhere from average, I would probably say, so you could probably get $30 to $40 plus shipping online if you find ones that are actually profitable.
That, I mean, yes and no. I would honestly like, I'm debating whether that kind of a claim is too generic to be helpful. Because like if you just say used shoes are great to sell online, like if they're a good brand, they'll sell for $30 to $40. If I was making an informational video like this, I would definitely get more specific. I would do something like Like if you specialize in shoes, if you flipped a decent number of shoes, 10 used shoe brands that will make you money, right? That will, yeah, 10 used shoes that sell for great money online or something like that, right? Niche down a little bit in the informative content that you're doing in order to provide more value.
Of hundreds of dollars. I previously have sold like Jordans in the past for a good amount of money, or Nike Air Maxes. I never really had any crazy sales when it came to shoes.
Ooh, or that's an interesting one too. Like you said that you haven't had any crazy sales, but you could even say like 10 most expensive shoes I've ever sold. And maybe it's, you know, $80 pairs, but it's still more interesting to people who are interested in shoes, right? If you're one piece of advice that I've heard that is really helpful is if your videos are made for everyone, then they're made for no one, right? You have to have, the more specific your intended audience is, especially early on in your channel, the more luck you're going to have gaining traction. So hopefully that's helpful. I'm assuming, yeah, it looks like a lot of the rest of the video is pretty similar. But it seems, I mean, for a young channel, you've got a lot, like it seems like you're clearly putting a good amount of work into your edits, which is a really good sign, like being willing to put that time in and put the text boxes and put the B-roll and have the music in there. I like all of that. It makes,
so for example, if
yeah, you can hear kind of like the lo-fi elevator music in the background there. You're doing a lot of stuff that makes these easier to watch. And even I saw it right here.
Adding any of the other items that I use for my shipping supplies in the description or the comments down below. That's going to be the end of the video for you guys today. I really scale your business more and more. You're obviously going to want to buy stuff in.
Yeah, there it is.
Couple to say, but anyway.
See, you guys could see it there. He had this like subtle zoom in. That's something that I think more reseller YouTube channels need to do. You're not fiddling with your camera as you're doing it, but in your editing, you're slightly zooming in and zooming out, or maybe like doing a slow zoom in order to increase the visual like engagement of the footage that you're showing. So Aristides, I hope that that was somewhat helpful. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more. NC Picker says subscribers may help with sponsorship deals. That's very true. Some sponsors don't really understand YouTube metrics all that well, and they'll see that big number and be like, ooh, have money. So yeah, I'm not doing a ton of chatting with the chat. Sorry, I normally do in my live streams, but I'm trying to get through these as much as I can. Utah bought and gone. A must-watch $1,250 profit thrift haul video. Thumbnail. So you can tell it's pretty pixelated. I would definitely get a higher quality photo if you can, or maybe that just happened when you exported it to be a JPEG. Okay, that's kind of bad. Pay for the paid version of this so that you can get the watermark removed, or better yet, like use Canva or Photoshop or something like that, because that just says I'm not very professional. That's kind of funny. Amazing thrift haul. This is not a great font, I would say. It's kind of thin. It looks totally fine when you're zoomed in like this, but when you realize that when you're seeing this thing, it's this size a lot of the time, especially if you're on mobile, I would bet most of you guys in the chat cannot read that because it's so thin. However, something like this, you probably can still read despite being way smaller than the actual image, right? Top 10 items to sell online. I can read that. This one, I can only read because I know what it says. So I would pick a thicker font for my thumbnails. I like sans serif fonts better than serif ones. That may be a personal preference thing, but I do like the color gradient that you put on here. I think that's a nice effect that a lot of people don't do. My biggest problem with that isn't actually that it's pixelated. It's that it doesn't have anything to do with an amazing thrift haul. It's just your face, which I think it's fine to have your face be part of it, especially if it's like surprise or like happy with how good the thrift haul is, but the picture here should be the thrift haul, if that's what the video topic is. A must-watch $1,250 profit thrift haul video. I would take a must-watch and I would take video out. $1,250 profit thrift haul is better. Depending on what the content is, you could probably even do better than that.
What is up, guys? It is Zach with Utah Bought and Gone, and I'm doing another thrifting video for two reasons. One,
oh, Utah Bought and Gone.
These are a lot funner to film, and for two, you learn a lot more. Those what sold videos are cool too, but they take a long time to edit and a long time to film. And these ones are fun because I love going thrifting. So my first stop, I'm at Riverton DI, as you can see. The first stop I found this HP laptop. It's only 15 bucks.
I'm pretty tempted to say the same thing that I said to the other ones. Cut straight to in the thrift store.
Get in the electronics. Don't overlook this stuff. I mean,
because I know when I click that you're gonna do like I'm clicking for thrifting, right? I'm clicking for some crazy thrift finds. If you just jump right into I'm in the thrift store, hey, look at what I found. I don't need any more context or explanation than that. And in general, on YouTube, less explanation is better. Less is more.
There's some hidden gems in here. Look what I found. So first up, I found this HP laptop. It's only 15 bucks. This is selling on eBay for around 130 plus shipping.
Nice.
Around 150 bucks. If it works, I'll get a power cord.
That's a cool find. That's a great one to open with too.
But yes, very nice condition, and it's definitely a good pickup. And then I found this.
Ooh, I know what that is. Nice.
Monsters. I love how you found a Game Boy Advance SP for 170 bucks, and then I picked this up for 15 the very next day. So super crazy. This one's selling for around $100.
Those are two fantastic finds to open with. I wouldn't bother with the intro stuff in the car. Just be like, hey, I'm in this thrift store. Check out these crazy finds, and then go into the video that way.
On eBay in this workshop out here in Utah, next to the gorgeous mountains, of course.
Nice.
So yeah, come check out Shavers if you're ever in Utah. Always finding good stuff here. So let's get in there and fingers crossed.
Good little tip there. And I don't mind that bit of exposition as much because it's moving, right? There's pacing there. There's progression.
Right, guys. Some great things to look at while you're at the thrift store is the sporting goods.
Nice.
Look out for baseball gloves, goggles.
This is the perfect time for tips. You're there, you're living vicariously through this guy thrifting. You're getting tips, you're learning, but it's interesting because it's active. I like that a lot.
Golf clubs, baseball bats. I didn't find anything besides this. This is a ping sand wedge. It's only $3, and I should be able to get around $30 plus shipping. So it'd be like 40 bucks total. But yeah, not too bad for a $3 golf club.
Cool. Yeah, I love the education there.
Check the sporting goods. So maybe I'll go in like 150. I mean, it's only $10.
Ooh.
So I'll take a chance on it, and maybe this like 150, maybe 140.
Yeah, dang, you're getting a fantastic thrift day right now.
He's gonna buy some of these video games for me. So he has a Whatnot. If you guys ever have the app Whatnot, it's like 15 to 30-second auctions.
Someone was literally asking about Whatnot in the chat earlier. That's funny.
With Brett, that's SLC Flips. If you guys don't follow him on Instagram, I'll tag him here on the next clip when I meet up with him. But yeah, you guys can follow him. He's super cool dude. He's gonna buy some of these video games for me. So he has a Whatnot. If you guys ever have the app Whatnot, it's awesome. It's like a 15 to 30-second auctions on this app.
Everyone knows about Whatnot now.
Super quick, and it's actually very entertaining. So
it is. It's fun, dude.
Whatnot, and SLC Flips has the same handle in there as well. But you have to check that out. He's gonna buy a bunch of games. He does video games. That's all he does. It's just he just does video games.
Sounds like an idiot to me.
Whatnot. So
that's a joke, by the way. I'm poking fun at myself, not at SLC Flips.
He's gonna buy a bunch for me because I keep getting him in those book pallets and help him out. And he's gonna help me offload because I have 2 boxes full.
So that was that exposition. I'm always asking myself when I have to explain something, what's the fastest way I can do it? That ended up being 4:02. That was over a minute long. To me, that's too much. I would shorten that to like 15 seconds. And you've got more car talking here. I would limit the car talk and do more talking in the thrift store. Especially like personally, I wouldn't have a segment where I'm just like walking around talking about stuff for an extended period of time. I would do like a tip and an observation, and then a cool find. Tip, you know, and you can cut down what you think is most interesting in the edit. Let's look at how you ended the video.
Total of $139.97
Nice.
on all these items here, which are some great finds. Just alone in the books for Amazon FBA, you know, I found that $500 book, which is super crazy. My profit for Amazon FBA on these 10 books that I found is $594.24.
Nice. That's a great way to end a video, right? Here's everything. I just did that. I just filmed a video of opening up GameStop Pokemon games and seeing which ones were fake. And the final scene of it was, okay, here are all the piles that I've made, the fake games, the real ones. Thank you guys for watching. Catch you on the flip. And it was done. So having this of like, here's everything that I got. This is, you know, the culmination of what you clicked for. Here's what I paid. Here's what I expect to make. I think is a really sensible way to end a video. Or if you've done a really good job of showing that on the way, like even if you could do this, like in the thrift store, you can't lay everything out, but you can like do little flashback clips to scenes from earlier in the video. We've spent blank. We're going to make this. Thank you guys for watching. Peace. That works too. But hopefully that was helpful for you, Utah. Going to go to this next one here and hopefully knock these out all in like 10 minutes.
What would you try?
Had to buy it all at this garage sale from the Aussie Flipper. Ooh, I like that thumbnail a lot. I do. The big yellow arrow. The only thing that I don't love is like the whole thing is a little bit yellow, especially up here. So I might have changed, unless this could be a branding thing, like all the thumbnail text on your channel is yellow and black. If that's the case, I totally understand. Otherwise, I'd maybe try to make this like, I don't know. The yellow's not bad. It doesn't stand out as much as it could because this is all kind of yellow. But I love that it's pointing at this huge stack of video games, and it's like, and it gets me wondering, okay, how much did he pay for this, and like what's he gonna make? I had to buy it all at this garage sale. Cool, I like it. 2,400 views on a 5,000 sub channel is really good. In 2 days, good for you, Aussie.
What's everything on the table? Before it all. I've got a massive video.
See, that was good. That intro of like, I clicked for, I had to buy it all. Hey, how much if I buy it all? Great. I'm worried that you're going to go into a lengthy explanation here. I hope that you don't. I hope it's quick, but we'll see.
Video for you today, guys. I scrolled through Facebook Marketplace and I found this listing for an awesome garage sale.
You got the sound effect in there. You got the, visual. Cool.
Fortunately, obviously, I would be the first one in to have a look at absolutely everything that he was selling.
Nice.
There's a lot of stuff purchased. I'll show you at the end what I think I can get for it on eBay. Let's roll the footage.
Nice. Okay, so still within the first 30 seconds, you're into the actual thing that you clicked for. I think it's great. There's a reason that this video is performing really well for you.
Oh, nice. How are you? It's all right.
And I like that you cut the music too, because I want to hear this conversation.
Appreciate it. Let me pop over.
That's a little swingy.
You don't know.
Good old blue PS2 cases down under.
Today's just sort of setting up and sort of working out what we've got and
yeah,
what's working, what's not. And,
yeah, okay.
I don't mind at all that this footage is uncut because I like the conversation. People eat this stuff up. This is like the vicarious kind of interaction and good score that people love seeing.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, look at management in particular or general? Just in general, I love coming out to garage sales and becoming a
NRL game as well.
No, we went through them.
Okay, I might have to eat my words a little bit.
All right.
Because, and I would take a longer look at this if I had the time.
180.
The fact that this is like over 10 minutes of uncut footage at the same sale, I would have pared that down to maybe half that and then got into the recap quicker, because this is one sale, it's one buy. This shouldn't, I don't think this should be a 19-minute video. I think it should be a 10-minute video, ideally.
Let's do it, mate. Happy to take it. Yeah, appreciate that, mate. Thanks.
Yeah, because that's tough. That the question that I wanted to know of how much did you pay isn't answered until 11 minutes in the video.
Fantastic. I'll do a couple of trips. All right, guys, we're back home now, and what an absolute haul we've been able to pick up here for $180. I want to kick things off with this PlayStation Portable console. So if I can get this thing to work, it'll end up selling for about $160.
So yeah, a little bit of a recap there. That's, you know, with the screenshots and the sound effects. That's good. That's what we like to see. Again, I would just focus on trying to do it fast. Make it hard for people to click off in the interim, right? Boom, 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 boom. And you'll see kind of the way that I tried to do that with my video tomorrow. Hopefully that is somewhat helpful, and it'll apply to the section of the video of like, here's what I got and here's what I expect to make. But well done on that. It's performing amazing relative to your channel size, so good for you.
What is up, everyone? My name is Shu Sales. I am a full-time reseller. I mostly resell sneakers, but I have been selling a bunch of other things lately. I saw on Amazon, eBay, StockX, Go, all the above, whatever. Today,
sick cause shirt.
We are going Black Friday hunting. I don't even.
Oh, I forgot to look at the title and thumbnail. So I think there's a little bit too much brand recognition in this one. I really like that it's a screenshot in the Nike store, right? Because you're getting people to click that are interested in sneaker flipping. That's really cool. I like that you're kind of surprised faces in here. I would have definitely brightened that up and amped up the vibrance and stuff on this part of it. The what is okay. Insane Black Friday deals is okay too. I would take out this whole like blurred, like blue background section here, and I would take out all of those because I've already got a million Nike swooshes in here and I don't want it to be too cluttered. You want to have like maybe 3 elements to your thumbnail. So the 3 elements would be shoe, text, and you. And I would limit it to that and fight the instinct to clutter it up too much with things that people might recognize. Also, this Adidas is going to get covered up by the timestamp pretty often. Black Friday deals will never be the same again. I don't really know what that means. I think you could make that a little bit more punchy, a little bit more potent. We'll see what the content is. But dude, 542 views and you have 592 subs. That's an incredible performing video. Good for you. This was only posted this week. Well done.
I think there's really any in-store Black Friday deals that are different from online. So yes, this is probably pretty pointless, but I'm doing it for the content.
That's kind of lame to say. I would just do it.
I've honestly never been Black Friday shopping before, so we'll see how it goes, I guess.
4, 5, 6, 7. So we had a 7-minute slide there with some soft music. That's not going to be good for attention, I'll tell you that.
Hey, on the body.
I got a little fit check.
T-shirt in the.
Oh, it's Cactus Jack. It's not Cause, or maybe it's a collab. Whatever.
November days because I live in Southern California. But I have this. What is this? A Cause Travis T-shirt.
Yep.
So
oof. I like dark humor. I wonder if you got any comments on that.
So shorts, chicken legs. You already know the vibes. Socks. I got a dog. Got another dog. Can I see my?
To me, this is a slow way to open the video. I know that I'm sure you know the channel Comment Hype. They do this exact same thing too, and I don't know why. Opening every video with like super slow exposition and fit checks. I'm just like, I clicked for the deals. Like, get me into the deals. If you want to slip those in later, fine, but don't open with it.
I don't know if these are called All-Star Weekend things. I don't know. They're cooked, but whatever.
So again, we're 2 minutes and 20 seconds into the video before we get to what I clicked for. To me, that's far too long. Also, putting your exposition in the form of text, if you have to explain something, doing it in text while you're looking through stuff and it's still visually interesting is actually not a bad way to go.
Have utility 12s here, but I don't know if y'all saw that was retail price. Some on the bottom, 70, or no, I'm sorry. Those price on it was 57. It's actually really bad. So these might be a good seller. They have a good rank on Amazon. They don't have that many reviews, but I think they would sell.
See, I think you're missing a little bit of an opportunity here to show that Amazon seller app that I know you're looking at, and just to give people a little bit of a visual representation of like what you're looking at. And you'll have a million people in the comments, even if you say it, asking what app is that you use, even if you sell Amazon, even if you say Amazon seller app 50 times.
These are about the same, about $20, $25 profit. Pretty good. You scanned the wrong shoe and it came up as, what in the world? It said these were selling for like $200. I don't know how much to believe that.
All right, and we got Shu Sales actually here in the chat. If you have any specific questions, let me know. I'm going to wrap this up fairly quick.
Anyway, back to Metcon 2s. Yeah, these all go for about $100. $60 price tag is pretty good.
Bum, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, ba, ba.
And 64, this is a really good shoe. These are $50. That is an absolute steal.
Hey, there you go.
About $95 to $100. But you're tripping. All right, popping those, popping.
Yeah, see, show me the Amazon seller app there. That's interesting to me. Being able to see those gross proceeds is interesting, I think, to the average viewer.
Oh my God. $50 these two. So if you guys
I like that. Nice. I would chop this. Well, I don't know. This is probably what people are clicking for, so you may not need to cut it all that much.
buy it because it sells. That's the only reason why I buy it. So that was a very long wait. Honestly, it's kind of worth it. I bought 3 different styles of these Pegasus 36 here. They're all gonna make me about $20 each. I bought 15 pairs.
Pegasus, nice.
Myself. The shoe palace right here. We're gonna check out, see if there's anything good in here. Yo tengo no servicio porque the shoes today. When I honestly came here expecting.
He's mic'd up. That's great.
But this has turned out to be a pretty good video. So I think I still got.
I respect that commitment to the audio.
Friends, I'm going to Jaybirds. I don't know what Jaybirds is. If you're from Southern California, you know they might have. This is not what it's listed at. This is what the payout's going to be. So this is going to be a breakdown. So at my first stop, we stopped at Nike. I picked up 15 pairs, all Pegasus 36 because those tend to move really fast for me.
Nice.
These are all women's Pegasus. I got this gray colorway. Got 5 of those.
And we got the screenshots and we got the profit estimations coming up here. Yeah, again, it looks good. I would just focus on, you know, making it snappy, getting through it quick. But well done on that. Last one on this nearly 3-hour live stream. I did not realize I blabbed for this long. Okay, that's actually really interesting. So these thrift stores, sorry, I forgot to take a look at this. GameCube games for cheap. Cool. Not the most, I think I would take the time to, especially if you can remember to do it in the thrift store. If you can get a shot of these things, or maybe there is one in the video that you could have pulled, just a screen grab of these things on the shelf with maybe an arrow to them, that's going to be a lot more interesting than like a sort of too close-up shot of them in a shopping bag. Also, the text isn't super readable. I know that this is like an effect that you can put on this font in Canva. I wouldn't use that, even though it's kind of retro. It makes it harder to read, especially if the text is blue and red. But this one's opening pretty much the exact way that I said. I would just, rather than doing the music, I would do voiceover. Filming wise, I would say same thing as with one of the other recent ones. Get that clip attachment that you can put onto your phone and widen the lens. It's super cheap. It'll make these shots better because these feel a little bit claustrophobic. Okay, so you've broken it up into days too. That's kind of cool. I would actually, do you put that on the screen at all? Day 3. Okay, that's good. Give people a little bit more of a, wow, that's really a win.
Week, I will briefly go over each section. Each section has its own story, so I'll go ahead and tell a little bit about each of them. So right here, I got a
Button Delight.
This guy was moving out, and he said he had a lot of Pokemon stuff.
So this whole beginning section, what's tough for me is that there's no voice and there's no face. People are on YouTube because it's a personal platform, right? If possible, there are channels that are incredibly successful that don't show their faces. If you can, I definitely would go in that direction. I know like people have all different kinds of situations and comfort levels and all that. So I'm going to be sensitive. But if you can move in that direction, I think it would be helpful, especially for a channel like this. And even if you can't, I would do voiceover here rather than music, because that'll be a lot more engaging for folks for your pickup section.
And it was originally for some cards. The cards ended up not being too amazing, so I kind of just left that out of this video. But to me, this was the best stuff. I think total I paid $150, and it came with 3 Pokemon games. I think 2 of them I have to replace the battery for, so that's something, but still a really good deal. And of course, we got this beautiful Game Boy Color. I had to
That is beautiful.
Scrub this because this was actually super dirty and smelled like cigarette smoke.
Uh-oh.
But now it looks pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, this is satisfying. You got some really solid pickups afterwards. Talking about them is fun. It does feel a lot less personal though, since like I don't know who you are.
Games and a Zelda 3DS.
And I don't think people will ever really develop that personal connection if you are doing like haul videos like this, if you're not like on camera.
Shell is a little bit screwed, so we both go to. And she said that she had someone who was moving out and wanted to get rid of their stuff. So she got this for free. And I ended up paying her $5 a game.
The other big thing that I would consider is putting screenshots of like eBay values, sold listings up for when you're talking about these. If assuming that is part of what you're talking about, it's cool that a lot of these are sealed too. But yeah, well done. Clearly you've done well to gain a following up until this point. And also nice job game hunting. Like these are some solid finds. Those would be my biggest recommendations to you, Button Delight. And wow, for the 8 people who are still around, I cannot believe that you are actually watching this. Thanks for indulging me and letting me rant about YouTube stuff for the last 3 hours, because it just means a lot to me. This platform and optimizing my stuff on it has been one of the most fun challenges of my life, honestly. So thank you guys for being a small part of it today, and I'll catch you guys on the flip. End broadcast.